Hello? Ah, there we go. Thanks, Flightbeam Gaming. I just went on a massive tangent, so I'm going to say what I just said again. Sorry for you guys making you wait that long. I plugged in my yoke, and when I do that, my OBS sometimes switches to that as the headset. So sorry about that. Let me start all over again. Welcome back to another stream. Where did I start with this? The reason this is late, by the way, I talked for like 5 minutes, but the reason this is late is I went out with my girlfriend. We were hanging out, and my friend said he's able to give me his Bravo throttle. I texted him earlier if he wanted anything for it, but he actually just gave it to me, and I'll just repay him with a dinner. So I don't have it set up just yet, but I have his Bravo throttle, and I went ahead and purchased the ProDesk Sim CRJ kit immediately. That's the reason I wanted the Bravo throttle, so I went and purchased that immediately. If you guys want the ProDesk Sim CRJ kit or any other product, I do have a link down in the description below that you guys can use, and that'll give you 5% off. It helps the channel, and it helps you. So if you do use the if you do plan on buying something from ProDesk Sim, please use the link down below that I've listed, and that'd be very helpful for me. Anyways, where was I? So I got the throttle. And we went over, and I couldn't say no. We were there watching the game, so I stayed over to watch the game with them. We hung up for a bit, so I kept pushing back the stream. Luckily, I don't have to work tomorrow till 2 p.m., so I can stay a bit later on tonight. You can also notice that in the bottom right corner, we have some channel partners. So we have FS EXPO, ProDesk Sim, Flightbeam. Flightbeam's actually... I'm flying to Minneapolis because Flightbeam donated or gave me their Minneapolis to showcase. Also their Dulles, which I'll be flying there shortly as well. So we're flying to Minneapolis. If you want to pick up Minneapolis from Flightbeam, go ahead. I have their link in the my description as well. Feel free to go check them out as well. Seniors are awesome by them. Lastly, this is MK Studios Philadelphia, which I paid for, and I used CST's code. So if you guys want to use any, if you guys want to buy sceneries on Contrail, I believe Owls, FS, and CST, and I think Mickey and Mike as well, all have discount codes. There's a one-time usage, so I used Owls already before, and I used CST to pick up what did I buy? Philadelphia, and I bought something else. What did I buy? Seattle, MK Seattle. So I bought those two with CST's code. So feel free to go do that. So thanks you guys for joining in tonight. Hope you guys night are going well. I can't speak. It's been so late. I'll say hi to who we chat here. We have Jet Streamer. Welcome. Flightbeam Gaming. Thanks for telling my mic is muted. Puzin Man Bingo made it out just in time. Awesome. Thanks for joining. Yannick as well. And Five Snacks. Welcome. So we'll be doing this flight. It's about a 240, I think, in the air. I'll have to check the flight plan, but it's a bit of a longer one. The 900 can definitely do it. We have someone on our right side here spawned in as well. I have an idea who that is, but I'm not too sure, but they'll be hopefully flying along. And we are in the turnaround state, so we're simulating this airplane came from a different crew, and we're taking it over and taking it to Philadelphia, or to Minneapolis. Reed, welcome. Thanks for joining in. Hope you guys are having a good night. So if you have to take the time, look at the description. If you guys want anything, I have all my add-ons and stuff linked in there for the most part. Feel free to check that out, and expect a Honeycomb Bravo ProDesk Sim CRJ review coming shortly, hopefully by the end of the month, maybe the start of June. It depends when it gets shipped. And some other cool CRJ hardware that I don't know if I can talk about that'll be coming out. I'll be reviewing that too, so stay in tune if you're a CRJ guy. Flight Streamer, welcome. Thanks for joining in, man. Always a pleasure. It's Gabriel. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was your name. Perfect. Gabriel, you're the one on my right as well. I assume that's you flying with me. I asked you about your restricted ATP in your Discord. Okay, I can check that out once we're in cruise, that's for sure. It's probably different from where I live from where you live, though. Flightstream says, just stop by and say hi. I'm testing something, so I'm watching the stream. All right, well, sounds good. Well, thanks for stopping by, guys. If you don't know Flightstreamer or Flights and Flightsim Gaming as well, they're both streamers. Go check their channel out. You should know who Flightstreamer is by this point as well. A pretty popular one. So go stop by and say hi to them when they're streaming as well. And Flightsim Gaming is a close friend of the channel, so go show them some love. Dominic, welcome as well. Pulls said, how's the new flight model coming? It's coming really well. We're in kind of the fine tuning, I feel at least, kind of phase. And once the flight model's kind of all nicely tuned up, it works for 2020 and 24, but it's being mainly developed for 2020, and 24 is going to have its own development. So 24 will get improved. But because 24 has more physics that you can change, I think the dev team is deciding just to make a 24 standalone update as well after the fact. So it's coming out real well, I think, at least. Flying the RJ right now. Cool. Where are you going, Snipes? Dominic says, You're welcome, welcome. All right, let's get in the flight deck here and we'll get going. This is my second complete reinstallation of the month of Microsoft Flight Sim because it's given me heartaches this whole time. So if something's not set up right, it's probably because I've reinstalled something. So I got Chase Plane working, I got SimFX working, I got FSTL Traffic, which, by the way, guys, I don't know if you know about this, but notice how bad that RJ looks. That's on purpose. What I went ahead and did was I've downscaled all my FSTL traffic, which is what I do usually after a restart. If you just leave base FSTL traffic, it's at 4K. But I went ahead and downscaled all the models to 1K. Not only does it save about 40 gigs of space, but it improves performance like massively. So that's what I went ahead and did. And we're in the CRJ 900. This door should be open by this point. And we're going to get started. I've already imported the flight plan. And I'm not going to send to FMS. You know what? It's late. I'm going to send to FMS. We're going to cheat. And then I'm going to set payload and fuel. We're going to refresh the weather as well. Performance. I always like to smash these a couple times just because sometimes the numbers move. And we'll send it to the FMS as well. We're going to cheat all tonight. It's going to be flap 8, dry runway. We'll set the speeds now as well. So, and we'll even set the trim. Why not? 6.5. 6.5. There we go. Cool. That's all done. So go to the FMS, we'll execute this, press flight plan, let me get my OFP up, and also let me send my flight plan in. We do have some actual ATC on. We got ADS, obviously, we got Philadelphia approach, and I think that's about it. So we will have a bit of coverage. We're gonna file that flight plan. We should expect a PDC coming in any second. Reed says 40 gigs. I'm doing that now. Oh yeah, 100%. Look up on YouTube. I'll probably make a video on this myself, but there's already a really good one that I use. I can probably link it later, but look up how to set FSTL traffic to 1K, and it should come up. It's really worth your time to do it. It takes a good 40 minutes. Not to do it, but once it starts loading and downscaling, the downscaling process is automatic, but it takes 40 minutes for it to do everything. But it saves you a ton of space, and it makes the sim run better when you're on VATSIM. All right, well, we got the PDC. So, PDC clears, I was about to say JetBlue, Blue Streak 5575 on the 900 from Philadelphia to Minneapolis via the flight plan route. And we're going to be using 360, squawking 1614. 1614, radio page, so that can go in there. That should be set to standby. So we're squawking 1614. Philadelphia 3 departure, fly heading 300. So might as well set that up now. Oh, you know what? I didn't turn my autopilot panel on. Whoops. Uh-oh. Oh, I see what happened. That's not going to be good. Let's restart Mobi flight. Overplay it. Set B for my altimeter because I can't be bothered to set that in the sim world. Josh says, what airlines uses the call sign of SkyWest? I'm not sure. I think it's in... I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you. MCP... Sorry, I'm trying to get my Mobi flight to behave with me right now. It's not wanting to. Okay, Mobi flight just completely crashed. That's never a good sign. Got that up again. Hopefully we have an autopilot panel, or so I'm gonna have to use my the actual in-sim one, and that's just completely awful to do. For also, SkyWest runs flights for all 3 legacies. So Alaska. There you go. There you go. Pretty sure FSTL caused me a sim crash the other day. Glad there's some sort of fix. Yeah, be sure to try to check that out. I would 100% recommend doing that for yourself. Still doesn't work. There we go. I think I see the problem. There we go. Keep default. Close that, close that, close that. I didn't have a peripheral plugged in that the profile required, so replug that in. You guys, your comments are crazy. Major Mark, hey, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining in, Mark. Really appreciate that, my friend. Thanks for stopping on in. Well, I'll have to deal with this autopilot panel, hopefully in cruise. I really don't want to use the in-sim one, but anyways. I think all the American regionals use SkyWest. It's partnered with American Delta United, so basically all of them looks like. I've been flying the CRJ for a month. Once I understood how to advise your VNAV, it's really quite simple and very immersive. Yeah, the CRJ gets a lot of bad rap, but I think that's just because people are expecting a different plane out of it. It's not an Embraer. It's not a Boeing. It won't save you. It'll try to kill you. You got to be ahead of it. Which, you know, in sim-wise, it's kind of fun that way. So, yeah, it's looking like I won't be able to use monopod panel until I get it sorted out. We'll do that as we keep going here. We'll get the show moving. So, Philadelphia 2 departure, the runway by the ATIS. Departure ATIS is ATIS Tango. VFR, 20 degrees, using 27 left. Yeah, that's pretty typical for Philly. Next page, 27 left, Philadelphia 2. Departure arrival. We're arriving on the Killer 3. We're going to leave the approach blank, just the arrival. And it's via Kama. Execute that. Flight plan, perf. We're flight level 360 today. And if I scroll down here on my flight plan, the alternate is 12,000 feet to the alternate. The fuel should be roughly 13.9. We got 13.945, so that's pretty good. Brings to 84. So one threat here is if we do have a emergency after takeoff, we need to come back and land. We will have a overweight landing, depending on what it is. We might have to hold, or if it's severe enough and it threatens safety enough, we'll have to do an overweight landing. That'll be the lesser of the two evils. So that's something we can mention there with our takeoff weight. Max landing weight 900 is 75,100 pounds. So keep that number in the back of your head there. We got the headwinds, unfortunately, which is minus 43. We got a minus 31. And we got plus 9 near the descent with an IC deviation of 4 degrees in the positives. Next page, our estimated time of departure is going to be off because I changed the time, but it's 21:43. Probably be out of here in 15 minutes. We'll put 21:55 or so. Should be close enough. Reserve will be 1650. And the taxi fuel 400. Perf. Go over here. Take off. They have us taking off 27 right was incorrect runway. I'm going to go ahead and refresh the weather real quick. Don't think that'll matter for the calculation of it, but they're using 32. Flap 8. Yeah, because this is based off runway 27 right, it's probably wrong information. I'll leave it full thrust because the flex in the current V2 doesn't work. The beta has actually been much improved, but in the current version of V2, it doesn't work that well. So I'm going to leave it alone. VNAV, next page. We'll go to the cruise. I'm going to go up to my top of climb on the flight plan, and just under the top of climb, I'll see the next waypoint in my at least flight plan right now is Midist. They want us at 259.78. A little bit quick, and that's because we got to fight that wind. Whoops, didn't want to click you. You go away. Execute that. Next page, 4-degree descent. Execute. I'm going to show you guys something. Because I just reinstalled this airplane and the entire sim, my defaults have changed. So it should be default to 4 rear world. So what I'll do is I'll press index, defaults, So 400 pounds is default taxi. 1500 is default reserve. That's fine. Climb should be 280 / 0.77. Cruises changes all the time. That's fine for descent. 4 degree descent is default. And 5,000 feet for the 900. And that's all good. So every time you load in the airplane again in the 900, it'll have all those preset values. You don't have to set it anymore, which is kind of cool. That's all been done with. Radio page, they're an automatic MFD menu. We're flying from the right, so go VNAV, airport's off, I don't care. Airport's off, and pilot monitoring gets on. Make sure we both have the range alt select turned on. That's good. Flight plan copy active. Flight plan copy active. Back to the legs page, back to the legs page. So, we're all basically set up to ready to go. I really want to get this autopilot working. It's going to annoy the hell out of me. Should be... Let's try that. Oh, I have to close Microsoft to make it work. I don't want to do that. Catch up with the comments here because I'm getting kind of far behind. You saved me at LGA yesterday. Yeah, that was a fun little thing to watch. That was pretty interesting to watch. I hope it helped you though. Dom said I'm gonna hit hey, enjoy the flight. Talk to you later. Yeah, thanks for joining, my friend. G says, what do you look for in alternate? What do you look for in an alt? That depends. There's a lot of things to look for in an alternate. That's kind of a dispatcher's kind of job to do for us. But one thing is runway length, types of approaches, how many runways have a certain approaches. Weather obviously is a big factor. How far and how long. But that's all dispatchers. Dispatchers will hand you the alternate, and it's up to you to accept that alternate or not, really, as the captain. The captain would do that. Jack, hey, no wonder you couldn't answer. So yeah, sorry, I saw my phone go off. Sorry, I didn't know you were streaming right now. Yeah, no worries, my friend. Welcome, welcome. By the way, Jack, in that picture, if you're listening, in that picture I sent you, Jack, look at the PFD. That should be the biggest hint for you. G says, do you know the nickname of LaGuardia? I don't. Big Apple? No, probably wrong. Let's talk soon. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh, let me just text. There we go. I have a million messages coming through. No one texts me all day. When I start streaming, I get a million things. All right, that's all good to go. Let's set the flight director on the right-hand side. And I guess I'll have to set the autopilot panel up manually, unfortunately. I really don't want to give up on this. I really want my MCP to work. Peripherals. I wonder if I got unplugged. Wait a minute. I think I found... That wasn't the issue. Unplug my MCP, replug it in, flight, run as administrator, start it up. Actually, no, I think I have heard that one. Yeah, it just wasn't sharp enough. We'll try to blow it up and look tomorrow. Hard to see the detail. Yeah, it's a big thing. Count the amount of screens I have in front of me. That should give it away there, Jack. She says it's a garbage because it smells. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, probably true. Huh. That's super strange. Yeah, it recognizes my autopilot panel, but it just does not want to work. Buttons work? No, doesn't work either. Yeah, Jack, there you got it. My PFD failed, so we had to use the reversionary mode. So I got my PFD back. Like this is the reversionary mode here. So we had to set it to PFD2. So I was flying like that. Actually, that's a bug. I should report that. It shouldn't look like that. But Anyways, yeah, that happened. What kind of MCP are you using? I'm using it's a custom 3D printed MCP that my friend got from a different friend and gave to me. So it's not like a wing or anything. We're going to set 5,000 feet on the altitude. We're going to set a heading of 300, which I think I already did. That's what we've been cleared to, is 300. Our speed's been set. That's been set to the right. We'll set our level off height. It's basically sea level here. We'll do about 11 or 1050 or so. This will be our acceleration height here. Set our clock up properly. Oh, this is yeah, I was wanted to, yeah, for sure. It was pretty interesting. It wasn't that serious. It could have, I guess, got more serious, but it wasn't, thankfully. Anyways, I'll give you guys a bit of a brief and we'll get going here. So get rid of that. Get rid of this. Philadelphia 3. Bring you over to the charts over here. I'm going to replace this information because it's pretty wrong. Let me go to use the PFD, or it's not the PFD, the OFP. So many acronyms, eh? That's flying. Takeoff data. All right, so it's going to be a runway 27 left. Be flex rolling blades open with a flap 8. Anti-ice and continuous conditions not required. The min visibility is more than fine with the VFR conditions on the Philadelphia 3 departure. Runway 27 left. This doesn't look like a Philadelphia 3. It's because it's not a Philadelphia 3. It said Philadelphia 3. This one. Yes, thank you. The laggiest software. Anyways. Climb heading of climb by ATC. It's 300 today. We're not inside that. Well, actually, we are inside that, but we've already been aside a heading. So up to 5,000 feet, and that's been set already. There's no speed restrictions. MSA is 2,600 feet. Noise is built into the SID. The engine notes are runway heading. Up to 5. Questions? No questions. Threats? The chat's a threat. I keep reading it. Mobi flight. My autopilot panel's not a threat. I'm going to be clicking stuff that's not going to be working, so we're going to have to really make sure that we're checking, or I'm checking, fact versus fiction. So I'm going to start clicking my autopilot panel, and it's not going to actually do anything, and I got to make sure that it actually pops up in here green. But other than that, should be good to go. If up my IRS. Oh, did you? No worries. You just throw it to off and back on again within 5 seconds of each other and re-put the coordinate in there. David said, "What would your friend be willing to share files?" I don't even know him. So my friend was an instructor, and his student made it for him, and gave it to him. And he said, "I don't even have a flight sim. Do you want it?" So I took it. He has no idea. He doesn't even work for. He's not an instructor anymore. So there's no contact with him anymore. So I couldn't tell you. Sorry about that. We're waiting for while we're waiting for Gabe to get set up with his IRS. I'll give you some cinematic views with Chase Plane, sponsored by Chase Plane. Anyways, while that's doing that, I'm gonna check out my autopilot panel to work because I really need it. Don't want to fly without it. Almost good. 2 minutes. No worries. Yeah, sorry about Dave. I think you can find other ones online though. That might help. Maybe. Not moving? No, still not moving, eh? Alright, back to cinematic views while I troubleshoot this. Nope, still nothing. Yeah, I really don't want to go a whole flight with my autopilot panel. I get so attached to it. I just love it. Has a sim status problem. Huh. That's strange. Sim Connect, okay. Waiting for WASA modules. Oh, I guess it didn't work. Cannot be installed. Microsoft Flight Sim is running. Close Microsoft. Oh, I don't want to close it. All right, you guys vote in chat. You want me to close it, get my autopilot panel working, or just go without it? Up to you guys. You let me know. Let me put a poll up here. You let me know. David says, thanks for all the videos, by the way. I've been getting back into CRJ with the V2. Just did a cross-country, hop-stopping at a bunch of vertical sim airports. Yeah, nice. I think I have a couple of the airports, too. I don't really remember what they are, but I believe I purchased some of them. Glad you're enjoying the CRJ. It's only going to get better, my friend. Only going to get better. You're going to love what we got coming around with the V2 point, whatever they're going to call it. Reed says, I'm sure you've been asked this a million times, but since the first time here, I've got to ask, are you currently a CFI? Used to be. I used to be. I now fly the CRJ 900 for a company in North America, so this is my day job. I'll be in it tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Where are we going again? We're going to St. Louis. So I'll be taking the 900 there. But yeah, thanks for. I actually don't really get that question that much, to be honest with you. I used to be a CFI. That's where the channel name came from. Ready when you are. Can't wait for the new flight model. Yeah, it'll be amazing. So most of you guys voted for keep going, so we're gonna keep it going here. I'll suffer through it for you guys. Can't wait for, yeah. All right, let's go. Let's tune up and approach. We already got our clearance. Boom, to make sure our ACARs doesn't have any. Sorry, not ACARs. Our PDC. Sometimes they have a PDC number at the end. Just make sure you have to read that back before asking for push, but ours does not. So we are good to go. Fly heading 3,000, 5,000 feet. Expect 360, 10 minutes. We're all good to go. We're on 28.4. So I'm going to request push and start. I'm sure he's just going to say at your discretion. Before I do that, let me get some before start stuff out of the way. Let's make sure we close this. Let's go here and make sure we close this. And all right, let's start at the APU. I like to start about 10 minutes prior to push. Bit tests come in completed. Start. Get that going.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted. Central aircraft on frequency, Philadelphia departure information, uniform arrival information, Juliet now current.
Uniform. What did it say? Oh, VFR, great.
30 at 5.
27 left. Let's get this ready to go. Index. Whoa, I'm getting some laggies. Database. Oh, it's the damn GSX lifted me again, didn't they? GSX. I don't know why they give tugs. This is not the tug we use in real life. It's not this thing that lifts you. I even installed what's it called? I even installed the profile for this airport. Don't worry, guys. I'll get this done in 2 seconds. I'll make sure that's still synced, which it is. Next to the next page. Boom. Put that in there. It's from Philadelphia 27 left. Departure. Go away. I don't trust you anymore. Killer 3, Gamma. Execute that. Flight plan. Perf. We're gonna send all that there, and it was 360, and it was 120. Next page was 4 minus 43, and that's where my memory ends. Let's see where it was here. Don't use memory in real life, guys. I'm doing it for the sake of the flight sim. Minus 31 and plus 9. 1650. Oh, that's wrong. 1650 goes there. 22. 10 on wheels up, most likely. 400 pounds is good. Next page. That's good. Performance. VNAV 258/.78. Next page. 4.0. Radio page. Auto. MFDs are been deselected. All right. Done. Good. Let's see you get that done quickly. And we got yaw dampener kicked off. 1050 still set. 5,000 heading at 300 and 3001. Yaw dampers can get returned on. Hydraulic 3A pump can get turned on. The seatbelts can get turned on. And what I was going to do before we had the GSX disconnect us was index database KMSP Elevation of 850. We're going to set that guy to 850, 860. So we'll hold left shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, pretty close. 1, 2. Of course. How is 9 scrolls? Anyways, 860. That's in there. Check our... Okay, what is that? I'm just right-clicking. I don't know why it's doing that when I right-click. I think I might have a faceplane thing going on there. Anyways, doors page is all green. I'll fix that in the way. Fuel pumps can get turned on, or dome light can get turned off. Don't know why it's on in the first place. Beacon light can get turned on. Transponder can get turned on number 2. We'll wait on the parking brake till we're ready to push. Ground blue streak 5575 information uniform ready push.
Blue Streak 5575, Philly ground, push is approved.
Push approved, 5575. Alright. Bring up GSX. And we are going to continue pushback. Straight back facing south. Yeah, that's good.
Release parking brakes, please.
That should be good enough. And parking brake released.
Commencing push.
Gonna see why it's doing that when I press right click. So I got back up the comments here. If only my CFI did some sim streaming. Yeah, that'd be cool, right? For next version, is the only flight model is there? Sorry, the next version, is it only for the flight model, or is there's a bunch of other stuff? I can't say what it is, but there's a bunch of other stuff. Gabe says, how on God's green earth am I going to do this push? Yeah, I don't know, my friend. I think you should push like 10 feet back and then just turn it. I think you can change the tug type in JSX. Ooh, okay, I'll have to do that. Starting right. Click and hold in the V2, guys. Click and hold.
5358, Philly ground, good afternoon. The push is approved. Use caution for the company off your left.
That's right.
Roger the company, push approved, Bush 5358.
Use all that caution. I think they stopped me already. 20% below 120, we will add fuel.
Unlocking gear.
Unlocking gear. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. I just couldn't help myself. Next page. Let's get rid of airports on that guy. He doesn't want to see airports. Okay, that's bothering me. Chase plane. What's going on? Nope, not that one. Why am I zooming? Use smart view. Does that do it? Nope. I don't think I'm ever going to find this one. Mouse, camera movements, laterally, forward, up, down, zoom in and out. It's minus, okay.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
That one works. Spacebar works. I'll give you guys a seat in the back in a second. I'm just wondering why I can't. That's being kind of weird when I move my view. Cinematic. Flyby, no binoculars are bound. Huh. Alright, well. Anyways, we'll go starting left. Hey, Jordan, welcome. Thanks for stopping on in. I'll start the timer. I'll give you guys a seat in the back in just a second. 20% and below 120. The engine way it spools will be adjusted in the next version as well, because this is all wrong. Same with the starter cutout. Fuel on number 1.
Thank you for your attention.
You're welcome. Analyst native. We're all rocking the Boris sounds today, guys. Sweet. All right. Guys, push back on the left. Check our electrics. Make sure that the engines have taken over the APU, which they have, and I'll check the ADC, and they have as well. I should have set the HCP up. That would have been done before, but it doesn't really work in the sim anyway, so I skipped that part. Ape can get it off. Aft cargo all the way on. Probes on. Check our rudder. Let me lock my wheels before I slip all over my floor. Alright, full left. Full right. Oh, that's something I didn't do. Alrighty. I've been testing the beta. By the way, guys, if you want a little hint, these are my beta settings and it flies amazing, but unfortunately we're not in that today, so we're going to go to the CRJ settings and on the rudder as well. But that is what to come when it comes out. There we go. Awesome. Stat page. Whoa, whoa. Steering on. Ground. Blue Streak 5575, ready taxi.
Blue Streak 5575, Philly ground, runway 35, taxi via Echo, cross runway 27 right.
35 via Echo, crossing 27 right, Blue Streak 5575. I might just request 27 left. Is it possible to request 27 left for Blue Streak 5575?
Blue Streak 5575, runway 27 left, taxi via Foxtrot Sierra, cross runway 27 right on Foxtrot.
Foxtrot Sierra, crossing 27 right at Foxtrot, 5575, thanks. Alright. Yeah, I don't want to change all of it. But I think they wouldn't really let me go with that one. All right, so here we are. Wait a minute. There we are. He wants Foxtrot Sierra. Get this airplane kind of going the right way first. I wish this is track up and not north up, but it looks like Juliet kind of becomes Foxtrot, so we'll do that. And then he said Sierra, so Foxtrot crossing 27 right, Sierra. All right, I know where I'm going. Basically right turn, across the runway. Kind of strange. They in real world, unless it's like super not busy, they wouldn't give you a cross this early in the game, but that's fine. Where's the update? 2028? No, my friend. Not going to be that long. It will not be out until V2 is on the marketplace for 24. I'll tell you that much. But it won't be 2028. But even if it is 2028, you'd rather have a working product than a broken product. I'll tell you that much. Jay's an enemy. Yeah. We will find it. Go to Philly a bunch, and I just don't like in Philly that, and it's because of the runway situation, but they depart 27 left and land 27 right, so you always got to wait for the landing traffic.
Taxi, request 27 left. Blue Street 5358, Philly ground, runway 27 left, follow company, CRJ, cross runway 27 right on Echo.
Follow the RJ, cross runway 27 right on Echo, Blue Street 5358, runway 27 left.
And correction, cross 27 right on Foxtrot.
27 right on Foxtrot, Blue Street 5358.
Oh, I'm not liking that I have to use my mouse for my autopilot panel. I'm going to keep my view a bit zoomed out so I can click it on over here. You probably can't see it. I can see it because I'm using a 49-inch monitor, so I'm kind of limiting what you guys can see. Like this chart is all the way on the side there. But I thank you guys for joining. I hope you're enjoying your, what day is it today? Thursday, Wednesday, Saturday? I don't even know. Been off for 3 days. Wednesday. When I'm off, I have no idea what day it is. I just stay home. Stay home, go out, see the family. Let me know how the sim is running for you guys as well. This MK Studios Philadelphia. Something that I do as well when I get a new sim, or have to reinstall a sim, is I Let me see where Foxtrot is really quickly here. Okay, straight over that way. Cool. What I do is I go to the user config file of Microsoft and turn film grain from you have to go in Notepad and go into coding, and I go from film grain of 1 to film grain of 0. I would look that up to look up how to turn film grain off in Microsoft Flight Sim. It gets all that grainy text from the clouds. It gets rid of all that kind of stuff that no one likes to see. Not getting the greatest performance in the world. I should be getting better with a 4080, but I've been having a lot of problems with my PC recently, so we'll take it. Take everything I can get. There, I just used quick CPU to get myself to 70 frames. So we just turned Juliet into Foxtrot. We're on Foxtrot now. We've been cleared across 27 right. I'm not sure if 27 right is active just yet, but I'll throw my strobes on anyways. I'll go flap 8. Get part of this before takeoff completed here. Clear left, clear right. And we try not to do any checks on the runway or crossing a runway, especially if it's active. In sim, I care as much, but rear world, both pilots looking outside on any crossing of runways. Got my first cross-country flight on Saturday. Hopefully it goes to plan. Yeah, it should. Just make sure you got everything planned out on your nav logs. I don't know if you guys are allowed to use ForeFlight. When I was doing it, you weren't allowed to use ForeFlight, so make sure everything is up to snuff, as they say. I had a guy, when I was instructor, showed up for a flight. He did not have the way back planned at all. He's like, I'm just going to reverse everything. I'm like, no. Then he told me that he had a car accident the day before, and he was pretty pissed about it. So I'm like, now I have a student who's not engaged, not prepared, and his mind's somewhere else, and he's not ready to fly. Cancel the flight. Those are one of the decisions. So I was a pretty new instructor at that point. Those are some of the decisions you'll have to start making for yourself and for your students.
5575, turn left heading 265, runway 27 left, clear for takeoff.
Left 265 and clear takeoff 27 left, Blue Streak 5575. Do our lineup checks. 265 on the heading. Put that in there. Anyways, those are some of the type of the decisions that you might have to be faced to make as a young instructor, and some other ones as well. I plan a return flight and don't get into a car accident. Yeah, that's it. Alright, well, we're clear on the right. I'll scoot over to this guy's seat, so we can do that here. And we're clear on the left. Messages are known and boxed. Would have had a cabin ding us up that they're ready to go, and we would have given them a dings as well. And we'll go ahead and press our toga button once we're on the center line of the runway, because that's it has to do with IRS alignment as well in the CRJ. TOTO, the takeoff configuration is okay. And we checked it was 27 left. Let's go ahead. Engine stable 70 to 75. Set thrust, and we'll go to the toga D10. 2 clicks you should hear. You'll go through climb to toga. Feeling a little bit of wind pushing it, so I got some right rudder, left aileron. 80 knots was checked. I gotta remember this isn't the beta, so I'm gonna be flying this plane like it's the beta, and it's not, so I gotta remember that. V1 rotate. Gear up. Speed mode, climb 173. Heading mode, 265. Can't see that. 265. Oh, basically. Put my head in there. Alright. Engage the autopilot. Come up to the level off height. Whoa, autopilot. My mouse keeps doing that zoomy thing. Now we accelerate to the VT plus 10 area.
5358, ready for departure, runway 27 off.
Blue Streak 5358, hold short 27 left for intro separation.
Go flap 1.
Blue Streak 5575, Philly departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 13,000, say altitude.
13,000, 2,000, climbing now 13,000, Blue Streak 5575. Flap
Blue
0.
Streak 5575, turn right heading 330, enable direct pots down.
Right turn 330, direct pots now enable, Blue Streak 5575. Climb thrust.
Blue Streak 5358, turn left
And
heading
get rid of
265,
this.
runway 27
Pots
left.
down up there.
Left heading 265, runway
That looks
27 left,
good.
clear for takeoff, Blue Streak 5358.
Execute. We'll start that right hand. Oh, I twisted my autopilot panel again. We'll start that right hand turn. And we'll set 250 on this guy. Climb 250. I'm going to go pass on again. Execute. Nav's available. Nav mode. FMS2's captured. Holy. My autopilot just banged it in. Daniel says, you ever fly with FSD crew? No, I hate AI. I absolutely hate flying with AI. I can't stand it. And the autopilot's doing, of course, not what I told it to, so let's do what I tell it to do here.
Philly approach, good evening again, Walker 1108.
Walker 11 right, Philly.
A little bit north of the airspace, but giving me a call, we're setting up for runway 24.
Walker 11 right,
All right.
Roger, have the weather and those
Light off, cross flow off, or back to auto I should say, reverses off.
The RNAV Zulu runway 24.
Whoops.
Walker 11 right, Roger, you're 5 miles from Casab, cross Casab at or above 2,600, you cleared the RNAV Zulu runway 24 transfer.
Casab at or above 2,600, clear the RNAV Zulu 24, Walker 1108.
We are climbing away. Let's get, that should just say 5575, not JIA. There we go. Okay, I don't know why that's happening. Ugh, that's annoying me. Chase plane. Let's see. Let's see if we can dissect this one together. Do it here too? No, it just does it internal. See that? When I press right click?
Blue Streak 5358, Philly departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 13,000, say altitude.
Up to 13,000, passing 1,700, Blue Streak 5358.
Oh yeah, I reinstalled real turbine. I forgot what the default flight model
Blue Streak 5358, turn right heading 300.
doesn't work all that well.
Right heading 300, Blue Streak
Turn my settings
5358.
down to 20 on each side. Think about the cabin after it gets a little less bumpy. Really appreciate you guys joining on in today. I didn't expect to get you guys all in here. Please press the like button if you're liking it so far. There's 10,000. Lights. Turbulence is kind of subdued a little bit. I'll keep the belts on a little bit longer. Our pressurization is pressurizing.
575 New York Center is offline, radar service is terminated, frequency change approved.
228 for Blue Streak 5575. Have a good night. Thanks for the service.
Bye-bye. Blue Streak 50.
All right.
1-2, automated weather observation, 2200 Zulu.
Really?
Wind, calm. Visibility, 10.
I thought 122.8 is the whole.
Clear. Temperature, 17 Celsius.
All right. Well, I don't want to listen to that.
1.
That's kind of weird. Let's go up to 280. Actually, let's do this. Vertical speed, 1,500. Let's also increase my altitude up to 36,000 feet. And it went Alt's cap already. Yes, 1,500. 36. Man, I miss my autopilot panel so much. So now I'm having to look in two places, whereas before I could have my hand on something and look at the screen. Anyways, we'll go 280. And as soon as we get close to 280, I'm going to vertical speed up a little bit and then click speed mode. So as soon as you start to touch the bucket around there, I'm going to do VS of 2000. As the nose starts to come up, I'm going to click the speed button and sink it to 280 knots. Climb 280. I'll go Wells Auto. MSFS ATIS is not muted. Yeah. There's probably a way to do that. Again, I just reinstalled my sim, so there's probably stuff that shouldn't be in certain places. I had it all nicely made, but I'd have to pause to fix that, I assume, but we're not going to do that here. We're looking good. We're flying away. Got 25 likes and 34 of you in the chat. That means there's 9 not liking. I can do math, I think. Reduce motion. I'm just trying to figure out this mouse thing right now, to be honest with you guys. Just did a sim reinstall as well. Such a pain, but worth it. Yeah. My community folder is beyond. Sometimes I wish I can reinstall for performance, but I will be such a... Yeah. Yeah, what I would recommend, let's sync our heading indicator here. What I'd recommend is getting Microsoft, what is it, MSFS add-on linker. That way, no matter how many times I reinstall the game, I just click my add-ons back into the sim. Much easier. It's so simple to reinstall after. Hey, welcome back, Furl. Oh, I fixed it. Okay, enabling, disabling fixed it. All right, thank God. I see it on 2. I'll look into it. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It takes a bit to set up, not gonna lie. Yeah, it does. It does take a little bit, but once you got it, I got it organized. I have airplanes. I have an airplanes folder, an airports folder, broken down into Europe, Canada, US, like that kind of stuff, and I'll put all my files in there, and then like utilities like GSX and all that kind of stuff. It's so simple when you just press add, and your sim's back to where you had it before the reinstall, which is really good. Stream froze for a few seconds. I felt like ATC controller at Newark. Hopefully you're back online. We didn't lose you, hopefully. Bump for my message above for chase plane. Did you say something? Oh, how's chase plane? I didn't check it too much. So I actually really love chase plane. And before the reinstall, I had to redo all my buttons, so I might be messing something up. But I love it. I mean, I can press the number 7, and I got a cool little flyby view, which I can zoom in and out of if I want to. All right, just press number 7. I mapped it to 7. You can map it to anything you want. And then I also have this cinematic button that just lets the cinematics go. And then I press the number 3, it brings me E at B. Number 4 is all that kind of good stuff. 5, 6, 7. So I have assigned it all that. So I'm loving it for that. And also adds in built-in cockpit shake effects, so you don't have to use FS Realistic. Let's stop this timer. Back to ET. So you don't have to use FS Realistic, which I like. The only thing I liked about FS Realistic was the cockpit shaking. That's all I liked about it. So I don't have to use that anymore. Yeah, I'd recommend picking it up. If you do pick it up, I have a link down below where you can pick it up at. I don't think I have a discount with them or anything, but that's if you just want the link to it. That's where it is. Or you could just search it up yourself. But I think worth it, especially if you make content. It's very worth it as well. Yeah, I don't use FS Realistic at all anymore. It's all built in. You can't like without the shake? Yeah, probably live. Yeah. Now, if I'm flying in VR, I don't like the shake because it's like shaking the screen while I'm in VR, which is kind of weird. But in 2D, yeah, it looks kind of cool. Hated FS Realistic when I tried it, the new beta. 0.5 looks pretty good. Yeah, I haven't tried it. I do have RealCat Turb still, but I've turned it way down to 20% for the CRJ. The new update can run about 60%, but the old one is, the current one I should say, is it's a bit too sensitive. Let's turn the lights off. We don't need these lights. Don't need any of this stuff. Off, 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 off. Just displays. Off, off. There you go. Should have been off from before. We are cruising. If you guys can somehow tell me... Oh, sorry. Let me back up. Really good thing about the chase plane as well is I can set different camera speeds. So I got fast, normal, and slow. So if I want to make a nice view for the cockpit, I'll put it to slow. And I can nicely control how much my camera moves, which makes it very easy. And then when doing replays and things like that, I'll go back to normal, and I'm back to normal. Hey man, hey Anthony, hope you're doing well. Everyone's staying safe, hopefully. No, I mean when you showed the beta, the ground handling and stuff. Yeah, everything's much nicer. Although I don't think I ever showed the beta. But yeah, hopefully I haven't. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Let me, there you go. Boom. Dana says, what type rating are you hoping to get next? Or no preference? If I had to pick, based on, it doesn't pay the most, but just what I want to fly and schedule and all that kind of stuff, would probably be an FO on an 8.7. That'd probably be my go-to. Are you using Stream Deck for chase plane? No, I'm just using my keyboard and mouse. Nothing fancy. Nothing crazy. Gonna be coming up to 31,600 feet here shortly, and at 31,600 you're gonna notice this go from climb 280 to climb 77, and half bank will appear by itself, all at 31,600. So you can take a look at that as well. All fancy stuff that happens in the CRJ. About the only automatic stuff happens. By the way, guys, if you guys are flying along or watching along, go stop in the Discord. And if you guys all want to chat in there as well amongst yourselves, feel free in the lounge while we're doing this flight. Feel free. I'll be streaming. I won't be in there, but feel free to, hang out, chill. Would you upgrade to captain? Yeah, you can either upgrade. So in my situation, I'm either gonna upgrade and then go mainline, or go mainline. It all depends without upgrading. It all depends on. Hiring at the time, where I am in my life, do I need more stability, right? All that kind of stuff. All depends on lifestyle. A lot of airline pilots' decisions is lifestyle. When you are I was a flight simmer before I was an airline pilot. I've been flight simming for 13 years, so and I was that kid that greased butter 777 all that kind of stuff. Once you get there, it becomes a lot more lifestyle. 777 is awesome. It's a cool plane. Would love to fly it, but Can I sit in a plane for 15 hours at a stretch and look 40 years older than I am? I don't know. Maybe I'll love it. Maybe I'll like it when I'm younger. Maybe I'll like it when I'm older. So it's all lifestyle stuff. People make decisions on lifestyle a lot in the airlines. I'd like to fly all the airplanes if I could. But yeah. So it's all about making strategically good moves for you at your current point in your age and timeline and wife and kids and this and that, whatever you have to do. So there's some people that stay FO for, you know, upwards of 15 years because they can hold a great schedule and they can take, you know, they can be home for their kids for like make it a 9 to 5, and you know, that's what they want. That's what they want. Some people want the biggest and fastest planes. Some people want paid the most. It's all what you want. I had a friend that got lucky with it, Strip 7 FO slots during COVID. He's living my dream right now. Yeah, man. Yeah. Definitely not a bad gig. This is pretty realistic, guys. This isn't even the new flight model, but this airplane will do this sometimes. It'll just kind of mellow out its climb a bit, get some speed, and then shoot up a bit more in the last 1,000 feet that it has to go. 35 to 36. We're looking good. We are looking good. I'm gonna do a bold move and install MobiFlight mid-flight. I know I'm dangerous, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna try it. See if I still have the installer laying around somewhere. I do not. But yeah, guys, if you are if you are struggling with performance, I'd really recommend, if it's specifically on VATSIM, I really recommend downscaling your traffic from 4K to 1K. That really helped me get much better performance on VATSIM. There's a video online, just search up how to set, or MSFS, how to make traffic 1K or something like that, and it'll appear for you. It seems like a lot of process, but it's easy as long as you follow the steps precisely, and it's pretty quick. So, and all that 4K traffic goes from 4K to all that traffic you're bringing from 4K to 1K is saving you like 40 to 50 gigs of space. So highly recommend doing that. I said a lot of the pilots at my airline would take a pay cut to go mainline. Yeah. There's alt cap at 36. They want us at 0.78, so we'll scroll up to 0.78, and we're there. So we're going to bring this guy back from climb. Roughly looking for about 1,800 pounds per hour per side once it kind of settles out. I'm not moving the throttle anymore. I've moved it, and I've left it alone. It's just going to kind of settle out. And we're going to check our speed trend. If it's going to accelerate, we reduce thrust. If it's going to decelerate, we increase thrust just very little bit. But yeah, I believe it, Anthony. Yeah, mainline is the most job secure. It is the flying that most people want when they're trying to get into the career. So 100% believe it. That is my end goal too. Is mainline for me in the future at least. But I'm enjoying where I am. Love the people, love the company. So can't complain really. And I'm enjoying the CRJ. It keeps you on your toes. It's a lot of fun. So just kind of hand fly it. Okay, reinstalling MobiFlight didn't work. I still have to get the sim closed, unfortunately. So I won't have my autopilot panel. Too bad. I knew there was something I missed on my reinstall. Oh well. Getting 100 FPS right now. Ooh, look how smooth that is. Bring the thrust back ever so slightly. Got another 63 miles to go. Hey, Aviation 777, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully your night's going well. Thanks for stopping on in. If you guys see those little icons at the bottom right corner with all the different sponsors of the channel, first of all, thanks if they're watching. Secondly, you would not believe how long it took me to figure that out, and it was actually super simple. But I was like going through overlays and this and that, and then I found an OBS video where you just make an image slideshow, put the images you want in it, throw it to the bottom of the screen, and you're done. This airplane will be parking at gate Echo 16 in Minneapolis once we get there. Cloud says, hi, first time catching you live. Really appreciate your content. Hey, well, really appreciate you joining on in. And thanks for watching and thanks for joining. I hope you can stick around for a bit. If you can't, no worries. We're doing a flight from Philly. Oh, you know what? I just noticed something. I was about to say, we're going from Philly to, Minneapolis, and I'm like, well, you should be able to know that because there's an overlay, but I didn't put my overlay on. So let me get that for you guys. I forgot about that. Hopefully it still works here. Go on the flight deck while I do this, make sure the speed's okay. That's fine. Slightly high is no problem. We don't like slightly low. I'm like, there's something missing on my screen. I couldn't figure it out. There we go. And hopefully the overlay overlays properly. I don't know if I can start it this late, unfortunately. You may X16 as well. Flight notes, departure TF gate 1, arrival gate X16. Yeah. I'll park 15. Yeah, no worries, my friend. Shouldn't be a problem. Gotta get to sleep, but thanks for the great RJ streams. I write down all your tips and improve. I'm sorry, I can't read tonight. And operate it smoothly for VATSIM. 1800 fuel flow tip made my life flying so much enjoyable. Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that, and thanks for watching. Again, this channel was made for you guys that I've noticed a lot of. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say this channel. I've had this channel for 5 years. A lot of DCS stuff, and you can actually go back and watch my old live streams in P3D and 777. But recently, I've started investing in this channel more because I've seen a lot of RJ streams and videos where it's just flown like completely incorrect and saying things are bugged and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, it's not a bug. It's just you're doing it wrong. But then I'm like, well, there's probably no one to say how to do it. So why don't I be that person? So that's why this this new direction of the channel exists. So hope you guys are enjoying that. Thanks for tuning on in. Have a good night's rest. We'll talk soon. Anthony says, do you real world or flight sim fly to ART Watertown? I've never been there in real world, and I've never been there in the sim. I have been to Bradley, which is I believe in New York as though, which is kind of the most. Bradley is the most kind of out there airport. Like, I don't know why we fly here type of airport. Not to say it was a bad airport. I just didn't think the market would be for it. John says, I got MIA app, I don't know what that is, Mi app 24 Pro because of the CRJ to avoid using my mouse for the autopilot. Setting altitude can be a challenge. Yeah. Oh, I use MobiFlight with a with a custom autopilot panel that my friend gave me, and I just reinstalled my Sims, so I just didn't set it up properly, so I'm having to use my mouse today, unfortunately. But the next stream, I'll have it working for you. Some cool information as well is I recently just became partners with ProDesk Sim, who make Bravo throttle attachments, and I went ahead and purchased their CRJ kit. So I have a CRJ kit coming, and I will be reviewing that shortly. And I also have some other CRJ hardware, hopefully coming soon, that I will be able to talk about later, that I can show you guys, that I think you're all going to want to buy as well. So that'll be pretty sweet. Probably the next month or two. Probably the next month. So stay tuned for all that cool stuff. Dan said I control in Boston, and most Boston controls are really a Y here, airport, lol. It's fun though. Yeah. Well, Boston I can understand. It's, you know, it's a major city and everything, right? I can understand that one. Oh yeah, and Vatsim, yeah. I think people go to Boston and Vatsim because the controllers, like from my experience, it's always staffed, and the staffers stay on for a long time, and it's well controlled. That's what I think personally. For all you members out there, the members of the channel, I put some new icons for you guys. So if you guys do become members, you got some new icons as well. If you want to see it, Flightbeam Gaming has the new icon. I'm gonna refine it, make it a little bit nicer, but I'm not nowhere near a graphics designer, so you'll have to bear with me on that one. But yeah, so there's some new icons coming out for it as well. The training is rigorous, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it shows. I mean, it's real professional down there. I like Atlanta as well. Vatsim wise. Oh, well, rural it's good too. And where else? I enjoy Toronto's controllers are good. I enjoy Seattle, Portland. Not Seattle, Portland. Yeah, Portland was good the last time I went. Yeah, a lot of good places to be honest with you. But I noticed Atlanta and Boston stay on a long time, which is nice. Because you don't want to set up a flight or a stream and then they all get offline. The last thing you want, right? Alright, I should have did a top of climb check. I'm being a bad... when I briefed threats, it's for the entire flight as I just keep talking and looking at chat. So, it's been 28 minutes so far. 29 minutes down the road, we should be at Mids, which we are about to cross in now. So that's right on time. And we're expecting 10,240 pounds. We're at 10,985, so we're above plan, which is awesome. And we're 2,000 pounds above minimum, and the RVSM's all checked. So we're doing great for fuel, no problem. If we have to go miss, the alternate is KSTC. That sounds familiar, but it escapes my memory. KSCT. Guess I should put airport. St. Cloud Regional. Never heard of it. Yeah, but SimBrief gives you all these random alternates. Like with no maintenance bases, they don't think of any of that kind of stuff, so. It says ART is having a runway construction, making the long runway shorter than the short runway. So we very often divert to SYR, Syracuse kickoff. Passengers then continue to the ART. That's it. Runway. That sounds interesting. That sounds like a nightmare. I'll be going to Newark at the end of the month on my schedule, and they're having a runway construction right now. I've heard it's a mess right now as well, so I'm looking forward to that. Captain Ethan, hey, welcome. I tuned into some of your streams, I believe. My memory serves. Welcome. Thanks for joining on in. Really appreciate you stopping by. Hope your night's going okay. Daniel says originally VATCAN in Vancouver before I went to VAT USA. One thing about Toronto controllers is they will correct you in the middle of a rush hour. They're on their game. Yeah, for sure. That's your alternate as well? Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I didn't know you streamed until I saw your name on my phone, one Discord notification. Hey, well, thanks for stopping on in. Hope you enjoy. Everyone's been more welcome. And go check out Captain Ethan's channel as well. He does some good stuff. Gabe says Newark wouldn't be Newark without delays. Yeah, I was once in Newark. It was Real World. We were number like it had to be like 25, and we were there for a good 40 minutes because they're landing. They're landing 22 left, if my memory serves, and they were departing 22 right via Whiskey. But I guess the runways are so close they can't depart and land at the same time. So you're having to wait for this guy to do his rollout, then they would launch you. So it's just a long waiting game. Same with Philadelphia. Philadelphia lands 27 left. No, lands 27 right, but takes off 27 left. So you have to cross 27 right. You have to cross the landing runway to get to your departure runway, and you're always just waiting. That could be a big bottleneck there too. Anyway, this is about the time where probably ask for a water or something. Start ripping out some snacks. Eating all your snacks you brought. Hopefully you brought snacks, because the airplane food, although I don't mind it, it's not the healthiest in the world. It usually has a lot of salt because at the high altitudes we were flying at, the pressurization, everything has to be a bit more salty so you can actually taste it. But if you keep eating it like I do, you get fatter. So you don't want to eat the airplane food all the time. Although I actually don't mind it. Newark is one that has the ATC crap going on, right? Yeah, Newark has 22 left being under construction, I believe. Could be wrong about that. Gabe probably knows more about that than I do. 20% walked off the job? Uh-oh. That's not good. That is not good at all. I don't need to use this right now, but I made this for you guys as well. So I got that all working for you. I'll go back to this, but, you know, we're getting kind of professional here. You know how it is. Actually, she came to me tonight asking if it's safe to fly out of Newark this week. It's safe. You'll just take 5.5 hours, so you might want to rethink that part. I have so many aviation friends, so I live through them. My FA friends hate Newark layovers more than anything. Yeah, I've only done a Newark layover once. It was actually during my initial training a long time ago. I've never had it since. So I don't really recall it all that much to remember, but one of my favorite, I've only done this once, but one of my favorites is the LaGuardia layover. That one is awesome. I love staying in New York. We don't really get it too much, though. Philly's a good layover, good food. Free breakfast, I like that part. DCA has free breakfast. I like anywhere with free breakfast. Don't care where I go, I want free breakfast. Atlanta's a pretty cool layover. We used to have a Charleston, that was a cool layover. Yeah, the free breakfast, and if you're on the weekend, Philly had free food from 5 to 7 p.m., and then you'd wake up the next morning, free breakfast. Game changer. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Alright, let's check the temperature. So we should be 23 to 24 is kind of where we like to keep it, so we'll go a little bit more on this guy. And a little bit more on that guy. So I'm selecting... It's not actually moving, but I'm selecting 23 as the goal, which this should be adjusting that. Okay, well, won't worry about that. No one sees, no one sues. Doesn't work. By the way, to all, I'm a VATSIM Newark controller, as it is my home airport in real life. Yeah, guys, if you ever are in Newark and you see Jetstreamer or there's a controller, it might be him. I believe he does ground. So, and we also have Daniel, who does Boston. I don't know what you do, Daniel, in Boston. Do you do ground or do you do center? But Daniel's also does Boston stuff. You know, I tried becoming a controller on VATSIM. I just can't commit to it. Yeah, it sounds kind of cool. I've never been one to kind of go after it, but it looks like it's a fun little thing to do on the side if you just don't want to fly. Free, yeah, free breakfast is the most important, I'm telling you. I actually, tomorrow I have a flight. I have a 4-day starting tomorrow. We head over to St. Louis, and luckily I love the afternoon starts. Problem with afternoon starts is you get all the morning people's problems, but other than that part, you get to wake up at a nice reasonable time, not 3 a.m. in the morning like I used to. And anyways, I'm going to wake up, prep a lot of food, and then I'll hopefully have it for at least 2 to 3 days, and I'll have to buy something. I try not to buy as much food as possible. Meal prepping is annoying, but it is worth it financially and health, because it's very easy. When I was on reserve for a year and a half. You can't meal prep easily because you don't know when you're going to be flying. They'll just call you like, hey, you're going to DC, and you're like, okay. So you tend to eat out a lot doing that, and I noticeably got fatter. So I'm trying to be a little bit better on that. I tried 3 to 4. Sorry, Danish says Boston ground and tower. Okay, cool, awesome. Tower training, sweet. Yeah, we can do a flight into Boston next time as well. I do a flight to have a Boston, so we can do one of those. I tried 3 or 4 times since 2022 until I pushed myself and looked in for a month and got it. I'm ready training for S2 now. Yeah, sweet. It's fun, and it's very applicable, especially if you do go airlines later on. I was on VATSIM since 2018, but just decided to start controlling. It's so stressful. Yeah, haven't done Boston in a while. Yeah, me neither. I've been on VATSIM since I think 2014. I've been on it for a while. I don't fly on it that much. Like, I've only started doing it recently because of the streams. But I only have about 200 or 300 hours on VATSIM, so I don't have that much on it, to be honest. In that 300 hours, however, I have an X-Plane multi-crew Concorde with INS full oceanic experience on that, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun. All right, let me try to get this overlay for you guys working. Let's see here. Ba-da-ba-bum, ba-ba-bum, ba-bum. Watch our Boston. The CRJ is a nice ride to practice too. Yeah, that's always a cool one for sure. And they give me a direct roebuck. Oh, I'm not even on anybody. I'm not even contacting anybody, so I'm just following the route. Oh wait, that was for your comment. Sorry about that. Never mind. Disregard my statement. Disregard. Getting this overlay for you guys. Stand by. There we go. Although it says your channel name. Working on it. Stand by. We'll get it working well for you. Wrong button. I'm actually not going to use that type. I'm going to use a different one. You guys can sit here while I edit my overlays. CFI has a quarter of a 900 capability in the stream right now, kind of crazy. Oh, sorry. Or capacity in this stream. Yeah, 900 can hold 90. Most airlines seat them with 576 as the max, though. But yeah, quite crazy, ain't it? Honestly, let me go turn an AC on, actually, and I'll get you guys a story. Alright, AC's on. I'm boiling. Anyways, the first time you ever walk out, at least for me, to the jet, the first time I ever did it, it was quite a crazy experience, because you've thought of it, you've dreamt about it, you've paid thousands to do it, you've been a flight instructor, pouring your heart soul out of that with pretty terrible pay. Then you get hired, you can't believe you got hired, then you're like, oh wait, I gotta pass. Then you pass all the tests and the sims and all that, and then you're like, now I gotta actually, once you pass all the sims, it hit me like, oh, I actually have to fly this sim. Like, I'm qualified now. You know what I mean? Obviously you started to do 50 hours with the training captain for IOE or line dock, wherever you want to call it. But the first time you actually walk out to the thing, it kind of doesn't hit you until you like see it. And what got me as well is when you see everybody in the terminal, and it doesn't look like a big plane, but 76 people walking on, you're like, the line doesn't stop. These people just keep coming. And those first few flights, in my head, I'm like, this is a simulator. This is a simulator. And you just you can't psych yourself out with the amount of people that get on the airplane. Then you eventually get used to it. But the first couple flights, you're definitely kind of over saturated with emotion. That makes sense. But a surreal kind of feeling, and especially the first few landings you'll ever do. In the back of your head, you're like, there's like 70 people that are watching, recording, you know what I mean? Judging. And again, you get used to it after. But it definitely is a kind of surreal experience. Alright, we're gonna get this overlay working for you guys. I think this should solve it. There you go. Look at me all being professional with overlays and everything. Alright, now I just gotta enter all the data in. And there we go. Overlay should be up and running. of course, but yeah, it is a very surreal experience. It's kind of insane. Putting all the years of studying and knowledge finally into a day. And you know what? Your first day of flying the plane, it's not like you know everything. Very far from it. It's a whole new learning experience. The first week of your, you usually get 4-day pairings. You hopefully do at least 3 to 4 flights a day. And your first week doing it, your brain will hurt. It's a lot of information to take in all at once, because the sim is the sim and the airplane is the airplane, and things can break and you may not be ready for it. On the other side of that is all the different frequencies, and you know, Canadian do different things in the States, which do different things to somewhere else, and there's so many little things that you don't think about. You know, do we get catering yet? Do we get this? Do we do this? It keeps going on. So luckily when you're in that training phase, the training captains at my airline are awesome and can basically fly the thing blindfolded. But it's a humbling experience for sure. Oh, you know what my problem is? I think I know what my problem is here. Our speed back a tiny bit. Nothing too crazy. And that's the best it's gonna get. We'll leave it like that for now till I can edit it later. Hope you enjoy that overlay though. Thanks to Shane, gotta pass out. Glad I was able to make it. Sorry about that, Vang. I got your comment a little late, but thanks for stopping in. Daniel says, as Toronto born and mostly flying a CRJs and occasional Sunwing, getting to get in the cockpit and talking to the captain FO got me so interested in aviation back in 2000, 2007. Yeah, and it's always great. I mean, I'll be honest, a lot of people don't actually care. No one actually, in my 2 years, airline wise, I've had a few families come up with their kids, and that's about it. A lot of the vast majority of the public don't really care, don't know what plane they're on. When I was on a plane, you know, you knew the airplane, at least what it was called. You'd always want to go to the flight deck. So, but yeah, it's good if you got a crew that allows you to go up there on the once they're on the ground and chat for a bit. There's some people that don't want to chat at all. I'm always open to it. And I think it's important to share aviation and get more people into it. Gotta comply these in the sim. Yeah, for sure. Captain Gabriel? Oh, you changed your name. I was gonna say, wait a minute. JBS Trouble, welcome. Your videos have been invaluable trying to learn this aircraft. Once the new flight model is released, it'll be even better. Maybe I'll be able to take off without tail striking. And how about those Leafs? Love getting... Oh, did they win? Nice. Did they win or lose? I'm not even sure. Against Florida today. Yeah, the new flight model will be vastly improved. I had a very, very, very big part in making it what it is. Me and the dev Gravel, who made other flight models, he was brought into the project to make it better. And we basically sat for 2 to 3 hours at a stretch, 1 a.m. my time. He's in Europe. And I would test it, tell him to fix such, send me a new file, test it, fix, test it, fix, test it. And we would do that for a week, 2 weeks straight. And now it's basically been completely rewritten, where the drag, the lift at different flaps, drag at different flap settings, power settings, trims, yoke settings. You can leave, once the flight model comes out, you'll be able to leave your yokes in default, and it'll work perfectly. So it took a long time to get to that, because once you change how an airplane, let's say for example, should flare / float / slam, that's all drag and lift and ground effect you're playing with, and it affects the entire airplane during cruise, climb, and everything else. So we had to do a lot of changes to the engines, a lot of changes to the flight dynamics to meet the performance gates that I know it meets in real life. For example, idle thrust 290 or even idle thrust 0.75, 0.77 for example, at 3,000 feet a minute. This version will slow down. The other version won't slow down. It'll stay where its speed is, and it'll be very slippery and hard to slow down, which it should be. So it'll be amazing. I'm very impressed. The 2024 version will be even better, so I'm told. But I think you guys will be well impressed. Tuesday on the series, awesome. Yeah. David says, heading out. Thanks for streaming. I'll cast the rest of the morning. Hey, thanks for watching, man. Thanks, really appreciate that. And glad you stopped in. See you in the next one. I said, there is a new flight model coming? There is. I don't know when, so I can't even say when. I'm not allowed to say when, but I don't even know when. But there is one coming. It should not be too long, I imagine. This is the first time the Leafs have gone up two in two series, the same playoffs since 1960. That's insane. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Charlie 31, hey, welcome. If you're in Denver, I would love to chat. Hey, I'm actually not in Denver, but this month I have a week, or actually have 2 weeks of just off time, and I was actually planning to fly out to meet Captain Jack. So maybe we can all get together. That'd be pretty cool. I was going to jump seat out there. Captain Ethan says, I'm trying to figure out a good route to do Friday, possibly. What airplane? See what people come up with the chat. With an RJ, I can give you some routes. Can give you a couple of the triples and stuff as well. But yeah, what airplane are you trying to fly? Ashley says, when's the update you're talking about coming out? I can't say, don't know when either, and if I could say it. But yeah. Dana says, working in the engineering, tuning you're speaking words I can't do. Params will always mess other ones. I'm honestly impressed with the speed the RJ is moving, considering Aerosoft is publishing, and it's pretty much one dev. Yeah, so it's one dev doing the systems, and I don't know why that just brought on to outside view, but I guess we'll leave it like this. It's one dev doing the systems, and they just brought another dev on to do the flight model independently from the systems guy. So yeah. The CRJ, I'll say it actually, is actually an independent project by Hans and a bunch of other developers from before. Aerosoft is just the publisher. So they actually don't make the airplane. Just developers do, and then they submit their product. So Aerosoft can publish it, market it, do all that kind of stuff. But they brought on a different dev for the flight model, and he's an awesome guy. He works very efficiently and very quick and correct. And precise, I should say. So we've been getting along great, and the flight model is showing that. A320 Delta. What about Atlanta, San Francisco? They probably do that. That's probably a pretty cool little route. Or I don't think they bring it into Jackson Hole, but try to get. There should be a Delta 320 into Jackson Hole wherever they fly from there. Jackson Hole is an awesome airport for, I think, from Vertical Sim. It's an awesome approach and an awesome airplane, or awesome airport. FM Dev must be crazy smart. I believe you had a big part of it. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. We got together. We got along very well. I was able to write up paragraphs, and send him videos and pictures and say, I want this. And then next day he's like, here you go. And then we made tweaks and all that kind of stuff as well. So it took about 2 weeks of work on both parts. But it is amazing on the new one. I'm really impressed with it. Now, guys, I'm not going to say it's the real airplane because nothing flies like the real airplane. Not even the sims we train on feel like the real airplane. But it's as close as you can get with a $70 game at home with peripherals like a TCA yoke. So don't expect, it's going to be the, you know, flies exactly like the real airplane. Nothing in the sim that I have flown so far flies exactly like the real airplane, and not even the sim I've trained on with the airline flies exactly like the airplane. It tries to emulate what it can do, but the real airplane, each CRJ in real life flies a tiny bit differently to each other CRJ. Through the years, they develop little dings and bumps and all this sorts of stuff. They all kind of fly through the air a little differently. So it's a computer. It's impossible to replicate all the forces and different things that work in real life. But I think you guys will like it. I'm actually considering Atlanta, Boston. Yeah, that's always a cool one. Maybe we'll get Daniel. Daniel's a controller there, so maybe you guys can schedule him to be on with you tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna let Jack know for sure. I think I talked to him earlier, and I was considering, or we were talking about it to try to make it work. As having this jet in the sim and functioning well opens up a whole host of airports that can't get bigger aircraft, such as can't pronounce that, or Aspen. I won't try. Delta sends A319s to Jackson from Salt Lake. Hey, you can do that. You can try that one out there, Ethan. Jackson was an awesome scenery and an awesome approach. Ton of fun. Man-made birds, yeah. Yeah, I was about to say that over time, no two aircraft from the same series end up being the same. Yeah, they don't. Even Cessnas, you go from a Cessna 172 to another Cessna 172, they're both S models, they'll fly a little bit differently. Very minute differences, but they'll be a little different. Hey, Dana brought that idea in my head. I'm gonna do it. No promise, since there's a chance. I'll with a girl. Jackson Hole, last time I did it was rough. Yeah, hey, no worries, man. Jackson Hole is a fun approach. It's a challenging approach. Keeps you on your toes. But yeah, guys, go check out Captain Ethan tomorrow if he's streaming. He may be flying into Boston. Or wait. Yeah, into Boston from Atlanta, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm going to get a new drink of water. We are 500 miles from our airport. And how about we do the stupid bit trivia? Little question. We're 550 miles away, and we're going about 420 across the ground. How long till we get to Minneapolis? Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna go ahead and get my drink of water. I had to stop for a cookie. I made homemade cookies and they're amazing. I'm getting so fat. Anyways. Captain says hour and a half. Gibby says not going to be going at 5 across the ground the whole time because you have to slow down to land, of course. Yeah. Yeah, these are just rough numbers. In the airline world, or even in the flying world, a lot of it's TLAR. That looks about right. So we're not looking for the most exact number in the world. But the reason I ask is roughly how long till we should start kind of getting set up for our approach. So it's just kind of a rough number estimate. Dennis says hour and 20. Average speed probably going to be around 500-ish. Yeah, that's your average speed probably, maybe. So easy way to do this. 120 knots is 2 miles a minute, which means 240 knots is 4 miles a minute. So if you just double that, call it 7 miles a minute, 8 miles a minute, somewhere around there is what we're doing. And if you do, we'll use 7. You got 520 miles left. 520 divided by 7 is it's about another hour and 25 minutes or so, roughly. Is it going to be spot on? No. But it'll give you a nice rough answer. So I'll probably start approach prepping another 35, 40 minutes on our elapsed time. So we still got a bunch to go. Yeah, there you go, Ethan. Yeah, I got 24, so pretty much right on the money of what I'm getting. And we can cross-check that with our flight plan. Oh, that was the wrong button. We just crossed Woost. Woost says passing an hour and 1 minute in the flight, which we got there a little early, and we'll have an hour and 26 remaining at Woost. So our rough calculation is pretty good based on flight plan information. That's all we need, rough calculations. I'm going to 0.8, got extra fuel to burn tonight. Yeah, let's see if we can go a bit quicker for you. It's supposed to be at 8.4, we're at 8.9. I can give you 0.8, I'll give you 0.81. I'm spinning my autopilot panel, and I can't even do that because my autopilot panel is not working right now. Alright, we'll increase 0.81, why not? You guys know in the comments, find the CRJ 900 RVSM max speed in Mach. There's an RVSM max and there's a non-RVSM max, and the reason there's an RVSM max is it's an autopilot limitation. It can't keep its RVSM airspace certification above a certain speed. Find that number. Go. No joke. We should play trivia. That'd be kind of fun, actually. Guys after as well. Right now we're trying to find what is the max Mach you can fly in RVSM airspace, reduced vertical separation airspace. Give you guys another. When that hits 4, we'll call it. Actually, we'll do, yeah. Just the 900, Daniel, just the 900. I don't fly anything else. Well, I do fly a 200, but I don't remember those ones. I shouldn't say. I never flew the 200, but I'm checked out on the 200. All my sims and my flight tests were done the 200, and then I converted to the 9. Google the answer? Yeah. You have no clue? No worries. Yeah, we're all having fun. Take a gander, take a guess. Appreciate you guys all stopping in as well. Still have 25 concurrent viewers going on. Really appreciate that. Alright, we hit the 4 mark. Daniel's correct, 0.82. So above 29,000, flight level 290. Nope, Daniel, you're correct. 0.82 is correct. 0.82 is the maximum that we can fly in RVSM airspace. Now, I don't know if that's because the autopilot's limitation is... I know it's an autopilot limitation, but I don't know if it's because it wasn't tested further or if it just screws up. That I'm not sure of. I don't retract. Yeah, don't retract. You're good. How do you like chase plane? Awesome. I think it's worth it, especially if you make content. I mean, I could just press a button and now we're in a cinematic view. And if we're doing a landing and I want to show you a cool little view, I press number 7 and now we go to a nice flyby view and you get a nice perspective of it coming and land. It adds in the built-in shake effects. So I don't need FS realistic anymore. So I think worth it personally. Captain and Ethan, it's 0.82 for the CRJ specifically. After that, the autopilot in the CRJ is not tested, and or it is autopilot limited after 0.82 in the RVSM airspace above 290. What's my MMO? I know what that is. Minecraft? No, I have no idea. I'm trying to figure it out. Or you mean VMO? And it's okay if you guys to look this stuff up. A lot of this stuff isn't memory items. It's good to know, but a lot of it isn't memory. That's why we have our AOMs with you. MMO is 0.842. I was thinking of VMO, but it is MMO. You're correct. VMO is 315. Sorry, 0.842. Yeah, I did say. That's our max Mach, which we usually don't go to. I've never seen 0.84. I've seen 0.83, and we were below like 25 or like 27, 28,000 feet. We're below our VSM. That's the fastest I've seen it. Doesn't really like staying there. It's a lot of thrust, a lot of fuel wasted for it, to be honest with you. Even right now holding 0.81, I'm burning so much extra gas to stay here. We usually don't fly 0.8. But yeah, also the CRJ does have the profile of the CRJ can vary depending on altitude. So the higher you get, the numbers change. The lower you get, the numbers change. But the next question I want to ask you guys is, let's say we were about to run into moderate to severe turbulence. What speed should I slow down to right now at 36,000 feet? Either, well, it should be a Mach, but you can give me both answers if we were a little lower. I couldn't imagine 8.1. Yeah, you know, I thought 180 knots was fast. Yeah. Well, 180 knots at 50,000 feet is super fast, so you can think of it like that if you want. I was max takeoff weight on departure for some reason. I was pretty close. I think it was 84,000. Meanwhile, I'm happy if I can average 60 knots in my glider or small cross-country flights. Yeah. Oh, I remember a story. So we were doing our one of our cross countries to get our CPL signed off, and I was with a buddy, and I did the one leg there, and he was doing the leg home, just building time together. And anyways, I'll give you the whole story. Let me start over. So it's 7 a.m. Taking off. We're stopping at an airport because in order for this cross country to count, we have to stop at 3 airports, not including our origin. So we stop at the first airport, get out, check the oil, get some snacks. Can't check the oil because we didn't have any like rag or anything, so he just pulls out a barf bag and, you know, checks the oil with that. Cool. On the way, next airport, we're clearing customs at this airport. All goes well. Next airport, we go, land, having a good time. There's a museum, so we checked out the museum. Anyways, starting to fly home. We're basically doing the same route backwards, but now he's flying, so he can do all the different airports on his way home, so he gets signed off. And we're almost 3/4 done. By the way, we start at 7 in the morning. Now it's 7 at night. I was pilot flying the way there. He's pilot flying the way home. He's like, I don't feel too good. And this is where you want a lot of ground speed. You want to start kicking. And he's like, well, I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, I think we had, quote, gourmet hot dogs that were warmed up in a microwave. Just didn't sit right with them. 35 degrees Celsius, it's like 100 and something, or maybe 80, 90 something Fahrenheit. And he's like, you know, I gotta puke. So I'm like, okay. So now I'm on the right seat. At this point, I've never flown from the right seat before because I wasn't an instructor yet, and I wasn't obviously an FO yet. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, I gotta land this thing from the right side now. I've never done that before. Blah blah blah. It's nighttime. He has to puke. I'm like, open a window. Or here's a barf bag. Oh, wait. Where are the barf bags? Used it for oil. Damn. He specifically said, we're not going to need this when he was checking the oil. I can remember that. I can remember his smile on his face. It was hilarious when he said it. So he grabs his water bottle, chucks in there. Someone gets on my pants. I burn those pants after the flight. All is good. Get back to the airport, and he wants to do the landing. So he was actually well enough to do the landing, and we lived to tell the tale on that one. So that's a story where you want ground speed. Not just when you said you fight for 60 knots, we were fighting for as much as we can get. I even moved my, this was a 172, I moved my seat all the way back. Now someone in the comments tell me, why would I move my seat all the way back to get some extra speed out of the airplane? That's a bit of a CG question for you. We got some answers going on. I'm seeing a lot of 0.75s. That is correct. 0.75 or 280 knots, whatever is lower. So if I encounter moderate severe, I'm slowing to 0.75 or 280. That's our max turbulent penetration airspeed, or Mach. 0.75, 280. That's the 900. Could vary depending on different models, but I just know 900 stuff. So Ethan, yeah, you're on the right track. Why though? Why does it give you a faster? Does it give you a faster ground speed, indicated, true airspeed? And why? Why does that happen? It's usually easier if you have a visual drawing or something. I used to teach this with like a model airplane. It'd be easier to see it. So the reason you get faster, if you're putting weight more aft, this is why a lot of airlines have aft CRJ, by the way. If you're putting a weight aft of the datum, naturally the nose is going to be a little bit more nose up. So to compensate and to stay level, you have to pitch nose down, which is therefore reducing angle of attack, which is therefore reducing induced drag. And you'll get a couple extra knots in a 172 out of that. We actually gained 8 knots on the ground speed, which is kind of nice. That's why that happens. So aft CFG, you got a faster cruise speed, but you have worse stall characteristics in the recovery. Forward CFG, that nose is being weighed down. You got to pull up to hold that nose. You're increasing angle of attack, which is increasing lift and induced drag. So you're slower in the cruise, but it's better stall characteristic recovery. That's why if you look at your CG in the 172 and you look at the normal category and the utility category, for spins are only allowed if you're in the utility category of the center of gravity, which is in the nose forward or forward CG, and that is because it recovers better. So that's a bit of a CG lesson for you. So if you ever someone's barfing on you, move your seat back all the way it can go and get those few extra knots to go home. You can't do it in the diamond? Yeah, probably not. Yeah, good thing about 172 is you've got a lot of room, so you just go all the way, you go all the way back. What else can we ask? Let's see. I think you guys are liking this. I'll keep it more CRJ if you like, or I can go PPL flight test or whatever you like. Here's a good one. Can the CRJ, this is a very misinterpreted, can the CRJ equip with this HUD here, as you see, and obviously all the test flights and everything that's been done on it to make it, you know, certified and everything, is the CRJ able to do the 900 or even the 200s? Are they able to do Cat 2 and Cat 3 landings, or just Cat 2 or just Cat 3? You let me know. Got a lot of not Cat 3s, but it can do Cat 2. If anyone else wants to throw their answer in there, feel free. There's no shame. We're all just having fun. Guessing game. No shame, guessing game. That's what we call this. $400 miles to go with 400, or with 7 miles a minute. Probably another hour. Something like that. Hour and 5. See the chat kind of slowed down. So the answer is, depending on the operator, of course, my operator, we can fly Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3A. Can't do a B or a C because those are into the autolands. But a Cat 3A is all flown with the HUD, and it's flown with this mode down here called A3. Right there. You press enter, go to the top if we're in green needles and all sorts of stuff. It won't do it now. But it has to be flown manually. No autopilot, no auto throttle, obviously. And the autopilot has to be disconnected from 650 feet above ground, or else you get an approach warning and you have to go around. So it can do Cat 3A. It's kind of a big shocker to people, and even the other airline pilots have never flown the CRJ. They're like, you guys do Cat 3 in the CRJ? Like, yep. And the Q400 can do it too. This system, this is called the HCP. This is the HUD control panel. So in the sim, I don't believe it's modeled to its best ability, but let's say we were going to set this up for a Cat 3. I would set that to A3. I would set my length of the runway with L. So whatever the length happens to be. I guess we can do it here. Let's start, you know what? I'll just give you guys an early approach setup and I'll talk through it. We'll get to that. We'll get to the HCP when we get to it. So I'll leave it blank for now. We'll get back to it. I'll set it up for our VFR flight, which we're going to do, which we just leave it in VMC in primary. So the approach setup, I'll get back to that though for you. The approach setup is weather, weights, plates. So I'm going to go ahead and get the weather. This isn't an SOP or anything. This is just my little thing that I use that I like, but it gets everything done in a nice fashion. So the weather is 50 from the east, 10 gust to 19, 10 mile clear, 14, and it's 3019. Well, we've already said the altimeters are RVSM check, so we'll do 3019 or 14? 19. So we'll have that for later. And most likely means, let's see if I can get an ATIS. ATISs are always what we want. Visual 12 left, approach in use. Runways 12 right closed. Alright. So 12 left is what they're using. So now I'll do weights. So let's go over here to the FMS. We'll go performance. Check our speed, looking good. Perf in it. We took off with 70,300. By the way, this number is wrong. Let me. This has been addressed in the beta. That it should be auto-calculating for us. Anyways, took off with a zero fuel weight of 70,349, which is quite high. I don't think I've ever seen a zero fuel weight that high. Anyways, 70,349 plus we'll be landing with. That's not correct. It's a 0 FP. That's been addressed as well. Be landing with 4,200 pounds, roughly. So I'll put 43 as a fudge factor. So we're going to be under the max landing weight by a little bit. It'll be a pretty heavy landing. We'll be at 74,650. So performance, takeoff landing. 74,650. 75.1 is the max. VREF, runway 12 left. It's dry. Refresh the METAR. 3 knots of headwind, 9 knots across. There's the next question for you guys. What's the max crosswind limitation on the CRJ 900 in RCC 6 conditions, which means bare and dry? RCC 5 and 4 and 3, they start to get worse limitations. But what's the max crossing limitation on the 900 in RCC 6? We'll do no reverser. We'll click them into idle, but we don't actually use them too much. Calculate landing distance. We're using 3,400 feet out of 8,200 feet. So we'll go over here. And length is 8,200. the elevation of 12 left. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba, 12 left. Touchdown zone 841. I got that right here. 841. And it's going to be a 3-degree slope most likely. 3 degrees. And that should set the price. So that's been set. And all that does is it gives the symbology of the HUD at the right heights and right altitudes and everything. And on a Cat 3, it becomes very important because they have to have the synthetic runway be the right width and length and all that kind of stuff, and height above ground and all that. That's what's really made for the most part. Anybody answers with the max speed? What's the max crosswind limitation on speed? There's not really a max angle. It's all about speed. Get your answers in. Max crosswind speed limitation of the CRJ 900. So far, I see one correct answer so far. All right, I think we're drawing up on the answers. So the max crosswind limitation on speed-wise for any landing in RCC 6 is 32 knots. And the max crosswind takeoff is 35 knots for RCC of 6. So next time you see someone complaining about 50 knots of crosswind, that's not even half, technically, of the max that an airplane can do. Not saying you should force any landing, but once you get on the line, especially the captains, there is a certain expectation that you should be able to make it. If you can't, you go around. You don't really want to play around too much. Anyways, let's continue with our approach setup here. So, weather weights plate. It's got the weights, which would have given us our landing speeds, but in this, it's kind of broken. Oh, you know what? That's what I want to show you guys. I found, in real life, we use this thing called speed cards, and they don't have them in the sim, and I couldn't find them anywhere, but I found one online that we can use. It's not quite the one I use in real life, but all the numbers are basically the same. So if you want, go ahead to my Discord and training resources and click the link that says speed card, and I'll show you it right now. Window capture. So, we're landing with 74,000 pounds. It's quite a heavy landing. I don't think I've ever been that heavy in real life. Actually, we're landing with 75,000 pounds. Our VREF will be 141. Notice the VREF that it gives me in the sim. $148, way off. It's completely off. So 141 is our VREF. And if we go down here, our V2 go around for flap 8. Actually, this is written out a bit differently than what I am used to using. Ours actually has a number that just says V2 go around. You know what? This is respectively, so it would be 150 for V2 go around. And this one says 154. That's actually not that bad. It's pretty close. We'll set that one. Our VT, I don't know if this one actually gives it. Yes, it does. Although we don't have to do this much math, it just tells us. Under 10,000, 199. It gave us 246. So let's set this up manually. We'll go target. I'll get rid of this so you guys can see it. Target. This guy here, VT to 199. And our V2 grown should be set to 150. We'll use 154. That's okay. There we go. Speeds have been set. Our VREF is going to be 1. Just calculated earlier. 141. So we'll do that in a second. Now that we have that figured out, we're on the plates part. Weather weights and now plates. So what can we figure out with this plate? Well, we got our landing, all our distance, our length and elevations programmed, and our glide slope in there. Next, I'm going to plug in our ILS freak of 10.7. So go in here. You can either type the frequency out, or you can just type this in the ident IPJL. IPJL 10.7. Copy it over 10.7. Don't know why it says IUGN, but it's the right frequency, so that's kind of weird. What else can we do? Well, what about MDA? Why don't we do that? It is visual, so we technically don't need it because we're going to be clear for the visual approach. But the Cat 1 is 1041, which is 200 above ground. So we'll set this guy to MDA. And we're actually all pretty close. We'll scroll this down to 1041. MDA is set. That's about it we can set with the plates. Now we'll go to the FMS. That's the last one. Departure arrival. We'll back the visual up with an ILS 12 less. And if they give me... we'll give myself CJ in case they want me real far out. They probably won't, but we'll throw it in there. Legs page, we're going direct comma. We bring comma up, the second comma up to the second from the top. Whoa, laggy. Don't execute yet. Next page. Let's follow the SID in here. So we're doing comma, then Beery. Let me make sure you guys can see. Yeah, you can. Then Beery, then Robbie, then Kerbal, Zing above 290, or 29,000. Hender above 240. CMAC above 14 at 280. Killer 280 at 12 above 12,000. Hoogie above 10,000. Crisp Afton 250 knots above 10. Camo or Camo, whatever, 230 at 8,000. Then Cause Vector for the ILS 12 left starting at CJ. Then we got Urbdra. I don't know how to pronounce these things. Ubtwaya 6,000 above. A Legion 5,000 above. Hamel 4,000 above. We got Washi, which is FAF crossing 3,000, runway 12 left, a ref of 141. Missed approach, it's going to be a visual, so technically it doesn't matter, but because the should vector you in the missed approach, because you're not on the IFR approach anymore. But it's heading 121 to 1,300 feet. Then the left turn to 3,000 feet to Canuck and hold at Canuck. I'll take the speed card back at 0 speed plus it's going to be 201. No, wait a minute. It's going to be 211 at 3,000. We'll execute that, and you're all set up. That's the approach setup for the ILS 12 left. That's all you gotta do. take this, bring that back for you, get rid of that. Back on the thing here now. No worries, Ethan. Yeah, we're just chilling. We're having all a good time. And 32 from manufacturer, surely less for company SOP. Nope. Company SOP is the same. For airline pilots, my friend, can't let a little bit of wind scare you. Know when to quit, but know and be confident in your ability as well. Cap Beneath says, wouldn't ILS be a DA? Yeah, exactly. That's why we said it MDA. MDA. The other option we have in the CRJ is DH, which we're not going to do. That's Cat 2, Cat 3 for radar altimeters. So MDA is our DA in the CRJ. Because we do a lot of non-precision approaches, which have an MDA as well. So it's a minimum descent altitude, which is this. And then we also have a DH, which would be that guy right there. Yeah, no worries. Alright, well, I'll give you guys the approach brief if you're all ready to go. You're doing the Killer 3 arrival via Kama. Turbojet aircraft descend via Mach number until intercepting 280 knots. Maintain 280 until slowed by ATC or the Star. We'll follow the restrictions en route. Planning the visual backed up with ILS 12 left, pace 11-2, expected 20th of February. 10-7, set left and right. Misapproach. This is a visual briefing, so we don't really have to brief any of this because it's visual. Misapproach is 1,300 feet, then a left turn 3,000, outbound MSP VOR. Let's go ahead and throw the belts on. All these bumps going on. Radial of 096 to Canuck, hold at Canuck, and MSP and hold. In the event of misapproach, either one can call ground, including ATC. We will do toggle button, toggle thrust. I'll call flat bait, gear up, speed mode, heading mode, engage output at 600 feet. White needles, nav available, nav mode. Jet flaps on schedule around 1,100 feet. Climb thrust after takeout checks. 3-degree slope. Happy's left, ALSF type 2 lighting. Plan to exit, runway 12 left. About 3,000 said get down. I don't believe that. Probably Papa 4 is where we're most likely going to exit. No hot spots. Maybe we can make golf, but we'll try Papa 4. And in terms of fuel, it's predicting an extra 2,800 pounds, which I don't think is quite correct. It's probably more like 1,500 pounds. But we'll see if our fuel situation on the go-around we can discuss to come back, try again. If it's not weather-related, we probably have enough time. But if it is weather-related or airport closure, we'll go to the alternate of St. Cloud. Questions, comments, threats, concerns? I'm all ears. I got some threats. One, my autopilot panel doesn't work, and I'm severely not used to it. So that's unfamiliar territory for me. I'll brief that. And so I'm using my mouse, which kind of sucks, but I'll get it working in the next stream. Second threat is the chat. I keep reading that chat. So that's the threats for me. Anything else you guys can see that can be a threat? Be all ears. It's visual conditions, no mountainous terrain. Should be nice and simple. Consider yourself briefed. It's just an ILS. Give you guys a cinematic view here. I think I'm going to hop off to the lab as well, so it looks pretty stable. I'll say we're flight level 360, Mach 0.81. You guys have control. I'm gonna go to lab. All right, I just got back, and whoa, Johan just resubscribed, membership for 2 months. Thank you so much, Johan. Really appreciate that. You know, guys, I've been gone for like, I think I left the chat a couple times, and every time I forgot to use this. So I think what's going to end up happening is I'm gonna do this right on stream for you guys. This is gonna be the new way of doing this. There we go. I think that's a lot better. What do you guys think? That way you guys can still see the plane. That's pretty cool. Really appreciate that, Johan, though. Thanks for stopping by. But I guess I'm back now, so I'll go back to this. Alright, speeds are looking good. 360, no change on COM 1, my control. Captain Ethan, we like the plane. It looks pretty good. Yeah, it does look pretty good. I should pick up the RJ and learn it. Yeah, I really think you should. The good thing about this is it's only going to get better. So if you like what you see, yes, the flight model in this current one is not up to par, is putting it nicely. But it's a very good foundation to build upon. So I do believe it deserves its V2 categorization, as it's a new version of the CRJ no one's seen before, and it's going to be built upon to be so much better as well, with flight model and new flex temps and all this kind of stuff. And it just makes me happy that there's work being done in this airplane, and they're letting me help them make the airplane better. We've already did a lot of stuff to it, like a lot of stuff. If you go look at the changelog, there's tons in there, and it's probably left some out. But there'll be even more stuff coming out to it as well. Kyle says $50 for 4 variants. Yes, so it's $50. You get the 550, the 700, the 900, the 1000 for Microsoft 2020 and Microsoft Flight Simulator 24. One-time purchase, all 4 variants, both sims. I think it's personally a steal. But we're really close to 5K, and once we hit 5K subs, I'll be planning a 5K stream with a giveaway of the CRJ. So, or maybe I'll just give a gift card. You guys can choose what you want to buy, but whatever. So I think we're about 8 subscribers away, pretty close. Yeah, because one day I'm going to be at the regional, and it would be nice to have some familiar with it. Yeah, they might got rid of it by that time, but why not, right? Honestly, Solo will pick it up. Awesome. I really appreciate that. Again, you like it, you don't like it, it's probably getting fixed. Be patient with it. It's not an Airbus, it's not a Boeing, it won't hold your hand. A lot of moving steps, and there is some bugs, but I enjoy it. Probably biased, but I have a good time. I could do basically what I do in real world, except for some fancy FMS features, and obviously failures and stuff aren't there. But A to B machine for your regional ops, 100%, and it's only going to get better. I can't wait till that new flight model drops for you guys. And if you have a Bravo throttle quadrant from Honeycomb, check out ProDusk Sim. It's the first link in my description there. For the CRJ kit, it looks absolutely amazing. Mine's in the mail currently. I just purchased it, and we'll be having a review on that. So it has the real life, real size throttle set with spoiler and flap detents and reverser detents and climb, toga, max thrust detents, and even the finger lifts and cutoff for the fuel. And that all gets attached to your Honeycomb Bravo throttle. So if you use my code YourSimCFI or my link, you get 5% off. It helps me and it helps you. So if you want to get one, feel free to do that. Or you can get the 777 or 737 Airbus, whatever you want. They have a whole laundry list of stuff that looks awesome on their website. Everybody could say, everybody like Yoham's message. Really appreciate for him for doing that. That's the new emoji I got as well. I will be changing that, but I'm not a graphic designer, so it's going to take me a while to do that. All right, guys, let's start looking into this descent a little bit. The first one is above 290, 29,000, which is 700 a minute. Don't need to start down. 800, 1200. Yeah, so we got lots of time. Lots of time. Almost 5K. I know, man. And we're so close. We are so close. We need 8 more subscribers. We're probably gonna hit it off stream, but if someone can get 8 subscribers, then we hit it. What's the exact number to 5? 8. Sorry, you probably delayed, but yeah, we're 8 away. 8 away is what my system's telling me, at least. Actually, if we hit 5, I have nothing to do. Like, I have no banners or confetti, so it'll be probably kind of a boring 5K hit. But hey, I appreciate the 4K. I appreciated 1K when I got that 6-7 years ago, whatever it was. It took a while to get to this point. But honestly, I didn't take YouTube too seriously before. I put a little bit more effort into it now. So hey, 50 people watching, 4,000 people watching. I'm all happy as long as people enjoy it. And it's quality over quantity, I always say. I think so far we have a pretty decent community, though. I ban trolls quite quickly. Hey, oh, thanks, Ethan. Really appreciate that, my friend. Be sure to go check out Ethan's stream tomorrow, guys. I think he's saying he's going from Atlanta to Boston, if it ends up happening. So go give Captain Ethan a subscribe as well. Alright, let's kind of smooth that out. We can go belts auto. As soon as you touch that switch in real life to go to auto, that's the turbulence starts. So wait, did I just hear? Do that again. I swear, I don't know if it was timing. I just heard a jump seat unclick, and it's kind of cool if they modeled like the FAs getting up. Although the FAs don't have to sit down when we put the seatbelts on, unless we tell them to. No, it's just timing. All right, I was gonna say, there's no way. Kyle, do you do any flying for fun outside 121 flying? No, I don't. I don't own an airplane. I don't want to rent a single engine because I'm scared of them now. I like twin engines too much. No, I just don't have money for it, to be honest. It's kind of expensive. I would be opposed to it if I had my own airplane to just kind of scoot around and find some food, but because we are hour limited at the airlines, any flying I do outside the airlines I have to report and have to be factored into my schedule, so it's more hassle to me right now than it's worth. But I get my fill at work. Ethan says Friday, hopefully it happens, but same time I low-key want to beat this girl's in. Yeah, all right, you gonna play some basketball? Cool. Well, hopefully you have a good tournament or a good game. Gordo, hey, welcome. I'm studying FOIs right now. I'm trying to not lose my mind. Yeah, we'll have fun with that, my friend. Slippery slope. So you can see we're going to meet that restriction. Our top of descent is calculated just past it. Above 2.4, we obviously have already made that because we're at 36. Above 14, above 12. A lot of aboves, really. So if we look at the star. Please, thanks. The hard altitude we're really concerned with. 250 knots there at above 10. Is Komoot, 8,230. So I'm gonna really target 280 knots, 250 knots, passing that waypoint as long as we're above 10,000. Doesn't matter what altitude we're at, as long as we're above 10,000, and then mainly targeting 8,000 at 230. That's gonna be our main target. So if I go over here and go direct intercept, Camo right now wants 1,400 a minute. I'm gonna wait till this guy says 27. We'll do 2,700 a minute, and then we're gonna start down at 3,000. So we're gonna lead it by 300 feet. That way I can build in any slowdown time I may require. Now this version of the RJ is very draggy. The next one will not be very draggy. All right, I got you to 5K. No way you did. What did you do? I gotta check this. How the hell? We're at 5K. How did we just hit 5? We're at 8 away. Don't tell me you're botting, bro. Hopefully it's just friends. Jack, I really appreciate that, my friend. I don't know what you did, but if you got some people interested and join, welcome, welcome. I'm your Sim CFI, your neighborhood. I'm going to do Spider-Man intro. Friendly neighborhood CFI. Thanks for joining on in. Thanks for subscribing, and thanks for hitting 5K. So the next stream we do, if we hold 5K, will be a giveaway stream. Let me put in the polls here. You guys can pick what you guys want to win, obviously within reason. I'm on FO salary. You know how this is. You know what? I might just do a gift card. That way you guys can buy whatever you want. So we'll look into a Sim Market gift card, or maybe a Contrail gift card, if I can even do that. And we'll plan for that. So the next stream is going to be 5K and a gift card. You guys can buy any. You can buy the CRJ. You can buy scenery. You could buy something else. That's super amazing, guys. 5K. So this time last year, I think we were at 3,200, and I was at 3,200 subs for a long time, like 4 or 5 years. I didn't really pay attention too much, and only till really the CRJ stuff started to come out, people started to like it. So we've grown into a pretty good community. If you're not part of the Discord already, please join the Discord. Really appreciate you guys if you do, and I hope you guys are enjoying the bit higher level production value as well. Once I get my secret piece of CRJ hardware that's coming that I can't tell you about yet, and when I get my Honeycomb Bravo CRJ throttles installed, I will be having a camera view for the controls as well, and you'll be able to see all that cool stuff. So we're only going to get better, just like the CRJ. You were here? Yeah, I was too. Typical odd is the excessive drag for the CRJ fixed yet? In this variant, in the V2 public, it is not, but the version that I'm testing and working with the devs it is. Me and the dev have gone 2 weeks straight of just modeling and fixing and correcting and tweaking the flight model. That it's as close as we can possibly get it to real world with 2020 limitations of coding. 2024 will even be even better than 2020, but 2020 is already really good, in my opinion, in the beta build. I don't know when that'll be coming for you guys, but it is in beta, and it's not really that far. It's not really that far. Sorry, it is far along. It's not that far away, I don't believe. So it's all rests with the gods above. And I've addressed this as well. That is a bug, and I've reported that to the betas as well. It should not be all the way down just yet. Can't wait for that. I love the realism. Yeah, me too. Everything I do for the beta team, testing, giving feedback, and staying up late and all that kind of stuff, I'm not being compensated by Aerosoft or Hans or anything. I'm doing it because I want a CRJ in the sim that flies like the CRJ that I fly in real world. As close as I can possibly get for $50. So it's calculating and wants me to send now. I ain't gonna do that. And in real world, this is where the sim one starts to kind of go away a little bit. In real life, I have reported this too. I can go direct intercept, next page, click 8,000. Oh, it might work. All right, I might screw this up, but I'm gonna try it. It screwed it up. Maybe once past the next waypoint, it should have targeted Camo now as the VNAV altitude. But it says climb for some reason, which is not correct. So what I think they want me to do let's do this. We're gonna bug down to 8,000 because there's no one here to give me lower anyways. Took a long time. 8,000 feet there. We'll set that. That should be synced. That should actually be synced with that number. Execute that. Camo. Execute that. Well, it's showing a descent now. It should have changed to Camo, but I kind of fixed it. So I've reported things like that. That deeper system depth is not there in the V2 just yet, but I have reported it. I don't know if that'll come with the flight model or if it'll come later on, but just know that when you guys see something, I probably already saw it and I probably already reported it a long time ago, so don't worry. Nothing like accurate aviation. That's it. Shaq says, do you think force feedback would make it feel closer to in real life? Yeah. It all depends on how the force feedback is set up. You need someone who has CRJ experience with a CRJ flight model, both so real world experience and sim experience to kind of really calibrate it to really make it feel as good as it should. But obviously, it definitely make the experience a lot more realistic. Any plane, it'd make anything more realistic. Because the yokes we buy, like the TCA yoke and all these yokes, they're so loosey-goosey and plasticky feeling, and to me personally are not worth the price tag that they're charging for. They're in the real airplane, in the CRJ, even a Cessna. I mean, the CRJ, from my experience, it's not a loose yoke. It takes some weight to fly this thing. So if you're hand flying for 10 minutes, you'll feel it in your arms. It's not loose. So any sort of stiffer control you can buy to mimic that would make it all better. So you can see we're making all these restrictions pretty easily above 24, above 14. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting till Camo is 2,700 feet per minute, and then we're going to go down like a rocket ship. Well, not really. We're going to go down normally, which is 3,000 feet a minute. That's normal for us. What I am going to do... Actually, I'll stay here. That's fine. We have a speed restriction of 280 knots coming up. And if we read the star... via Mach number until intercepting 280. Doesn't say what Mach number. So I'll stay here, and I guess in real world they'd probably assign you one, most likely, if they 75, 76, 78, whatever they wanted. But there's no one here. Everyone knows Aerosoft is never wrong and 100% realistic, so it must be your problem. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I remember the Aerosoft got a lot of flack and Hans for the CRJ not intercepting ILSs properly. However, the real CRJ has a localizer problem. It really does. So when I see people complaining, I'm like, guys, if you want realism, that's real, man. It overshoots all the time. We usually gotta kick it off autopilot and throw it in. High wind does it quite much to the RJ quite a bit. There's 2,700 feet requested. I'll do 3,000 on the way down. Vacating 36 for 8,000. Idle thrust. And they want us to transition to 280. So notice I'm idle thrust and it's slowing down. It wouldn't really do it that much. So the next version will get addressed. And manually switch that over to... Actually, we'll let it do it because it might bug out. And basically, I'm targeting that waypoint all the way out, because these are all above, so I just gotta make it above, which I should. They make a disappointing A350 or something. So Aerosoft, no, they made A330. The difference is there's Aerosoft that develops and there's Aerosoft that publishes. The CRJ is not Aerosoft developed airplane. It is a Hans Hartmann developed airplane. Different person altogether. Nothing to do with Aerosoft, other than his airplane is published by Aerosoft for marketing and all that kind of other stuff. So when people blame Aerosoft for stuff, for the CRJ specifically, Aerosoft has nothing to do with it. This is kind of funny. Same with the ATR. ATR is made by Hans. Same guy. And this airplane's been out for years. I mean, it's been out for since the FSX days, right? All right, let's get the CTAF going on. So it's .CTAF. We're going to KMSP 26.7. Oh, another thread I didn't brief is this airplane is not the beta. I've been flying the beta exclusively offline, so I'm probably going to try to land it like the beta, and that won't work out for me. But we'll do our best. All right, we're going to get Sky Dolly all running. And G's as well. So we're doing above 14,000, 280 knots in the transition, which is good. By the way, guys, I'm have my hotel booked for FS EXPO. As long as I get the time off, and I'll be able to fly out. So be sure, guys, to go check out FS EXPO as well, and I may be able to meet you over there. It's going to be in Rhode Island, Providence, and it's going to be on June 29th to the 30th. Pretty sure 28th through the 30th. I got to look it up again, but go check it out. If you can make it, that'd be awesome. FSX, yeah, I loved FSX. It is kind of a scary thought nowadays, but I loved it back in the day. Alright, Sky Dolly is running for the replay. And G's is running for feet per minute and all that kind of stuff you sim people like to know. I'll say in real world we have no idea what our feet per minute is or our G's or anything. Touchdown zone, center line, stop before the end, hotel. In that order. But it is, I guess, kind of fun and when you're at home to just kind of try to get the best landing ever. Not quite realistic. I once saw the logo on Twitter and thought, damn, that was a jump scare. Yeah. Which logo? My logo? Or the FS EXPO one? So notice now, we're 280 knots above 12. We're going to be above 10 at Hoogie. And the reason I know that is because Hoogie wants 7,600 a minute, and we're doing 3, so we're obviously not going to be able to do that. So we're going to be above 10. And then Camo wants 2,000 a minute. But we want Aftan at 250 at 10. Aftan wants 2,300 a minute, which is working out nicely. As we're descending here at idle thrust to 3,000 a minute, these numbers are going to continuously count down. And basically, once I get to 12,000 feet, which is 2,000 above 10, I'm going to reduce my vertical speed to slow to 250 for that restriction. It should work out all nicely. Nicey. Yeah, I love my FSX days. That was probably the best simulation stuff I ever did. Just because when I was doing it when I was 13, brand new, never knew what I was doing. I was following Frugal Sim and Matt Davis. I don't think Matt Davis was actually making videos back then. We're doing 3019. Perfect. Love the B button. Use a bit of spoiler. know what that massive sound. Oh yeah, you know, I do know what that massive sound is. That's real turd being weird. Let's get rid of that, 'cause I hate that sound. But my favorite module ever, still to this day, and the most fun I've ever had, was the FS Labs Concorde. Absolutely loved it in FSX Steam Edition. I bought it again for P3D version 5, and they added an AI and all this garbage, and I hate flying with AI. But the FSX version was amazing. I had so much fun with that. Not the plane wanting you to descend at 40,000 minutes for a moment there. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. That's just saying this is what you require to get there. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it, right? Now after once 1900, so everything's coming to according to plan. Notice that number's getting less and less, 1800 now. And basically the plan is, once that requires 1200, which should be around the 12,000 feet mark, we're going to slow to 250. So let's go ahead and bug 250. So we have it there. No one's on ATC-wise, unfortunately. Need a bit of spoilers, but get back to 280 or so, which is what we got to maintain during the rest of the star before we slow. Now it wants 1600 a minute. This is going to work out very nicely. JL, welcome. I don't think I've seen your name before. How long have you been a pilot on the RJ? 2 years. From higher date to now. Well, year and 8 months, actually. So once we get to 12,000 feet, we're going to reduce our vertical speed from 3 to 1200 a minute. And it wants 1200 a minute, so yeah, we can just do that now. Get the airplane starting to nose up. I'll retract all spoilers, and we're going to leave it at idle thrust. And remember, we're going to be above 10, so 1100 is going to get me 10. I'm doing 12, which means it's going to be early, so I'm going to do... We'll do 900 a minute or so with a little bit of thrust on, so we don't have to slow too quickly. That way we can stay above 10 the whole way and not level off. I gotta head to bed. It's almost 1:30 in the morning. Landing better be amazing. Yeah, we'll see. Again, we look for center line touchdown zone. Feet per minute to us don't really care in real life, as long as it's safe. And it's all that matters. But hopefully it's good enough for you. That's slightly longer than a few days. What was I reading? Sorry. Sorry, I'm kind of confused there. Typical odd. Not following you. I like the CRJ, and you planning on moving on to something bigger? In the future, yes. I'm loving the CRJ, I love the company, I love the people, so I'm having a blast with it. A lot of fun. Doesn't hold your hand, which I kind of like about it. Alright, we'll go down now at 1100 a minute. Idle thrust. Make that 250 restriction all nicey-nicey. Above 10,000. I'll be good. Have a good night. Yeah, have a good one, Ethan. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate that. No worries. No worries, Odd. Dream type Concorde. Don't really have one. Whatever pays. 87-350 be cool. 47-8. I'll give you that one. 47-400-8. Either one would be a dream. MD-11 would be pretty cool too. Okay, above 250 knots, we made that restriction all nice. Next one is 230 at 8,000. Well, 8,000 requires 700 a minute. We're doing 1,100 feet a minute, so we'll keep this, then I'll just take this time to slow to 230. And we're going to be level at 8,000 roughly there. Let's do 1,000 a minute. There we go. 10,000, we'll go lights. Got our belts double chimed. Pressurization is set for Minneapolis. Altimeters are all set, cross-checked. The approach and threat briefing is complete. Looking good. Favorite CRJ model? 900 NG. I've never flown 1,000. I've flown 700s. I've done sims for the 200 to get like I had to pass for my airline, and then I converted to a 9. So not the 2 ever, but I'd say 900 NG is my favorite. Do you think the demand for the demand for pilots is high and will continue to grow in the future years? I'm thinking about maybe doing down the track 9,000, 8,000 feet. Demand for pilots right now is in a weird kind of spot. Not a lot of airlines are hiring, but it doesn't mean the demand's not there. It just means the market's not there just yet. There will always be a demand for pilots until they figure out AI and all that stuff in like 70 years or whatever, hopefully longer. But I think so every day-to-day aviation changes, you know, could be another COVID or whatever, but I think for the foreseeable future there will always be a demand, so you should be more than fine. People retire, people leave the country, people leave the airlines, people leave this, there's so many variations of why they would need people. Slow to 230, and airlines are a business, right? They're always trying to expand, so expanding routes with more planes needs more pilots, as long as they got the people wanting to fly them. Alts cap at 8,000, slowing 230. Flew with a guy who flew the 747 100 through 800, retired a few years ago, and now just instructs gliders. That's awesome, yeah. To get that type of a career, it's very rare nowadays to see anybody with that, so you pick his brain, I'm sure you do. A lot of experience there. The 100 is just a beautiful airplane. And they all are, but the 100 is just gorgeous, in my opinion. Okay, so we're crossing Como 238,000. Honestly, we have a completely self-flying aircraft. It's terrifying to think that may become our future. Yeah, I mean, they already got a emergency button, right? In those with Cirrus, whatever it is, you press the emergency button, it'll automatically, you know, tune identify ILS and full approach and 7700 and Mayday calls and all sorts of stuff, and it just lands for you if you're a passenger, right? So they have the technology to do that portion of it, but do I think it will be able to combat failures that happen day to day? There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong, and stuff does go wrong in real life, minor and major. Right now, the autopilot in crosswind conditions on most airplanes, it can't do it, like in high crosswinds, so still needs that manual input. All right, we're gonna bug 3,000 feet. I keep using my autopilot panel, but it's not working right now, so we'll do 3,000 feet. And I'm gonna vector myself, so we're gonna do heading sync, heading mode, green needles. We're gonna sequence the approach, let's see, from Hamel. And we're gonna go Hamel there. Intercept course, the approach course is 121. So whenever we get vectored, as soon as they say vectored for approach, this is what we do. Heading sync, heading mode, green needles. And we're gonna go descend. Actually, that's not smart, is it? Because I need to lower out. Oh no, I had to put a lower. 3,000 second confirmed. Descend, 230, idle thrust. Let's go. Let's go. And basically my plan is to descend and be 3,000 around here, and then I'll turn inbound. And if you're thinking, well, you got to be above 4. We're on a visual day. We're not on IFR, so we can be below the altitudes. So we're predicting out there, which means I need some spoilers, so we're going to add in our spoiler nicely. Nice and slowly bring that closer towards us. Uh, 8,000 model or something. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. I feel like an advanced AI model would be able to handle failures and incidents better than humans, honestly, just because of the reaction speed and sheer resource management. So yeah, probably. But at that point, I mean, what are humans even there, right? I'm doing anything. So hopefully we can all get Ferraris. All right, I'm gonna turn left. I'll make a quick call. Minneapolis traffic, it's Blue Streak 55, 75, 16 miles, turning left base 12 left. 4,500, sending 3,000. Get rid of my spoiler. Yeah. I mean,
Minneapolis traffic, Blue Streak 53, 58, 7,770 down to 4,000. Heading 298, 18 mile final, and 200 on speed.
4,000 for 3,000 alts cap. Hopefully, typical though, if everything is done by AI and free, then maybe we can, you know, if everything's free, maybe I'll just get Ferraris, right? I mean, it's all be free. What does it matter who's making it? There's no labor involved. That wouldn't be too bad either. All right, so this should sync up. The course is incorrect, so let's go ahead and flip that to 121. Now that's a bug I have reported as well, that the captain side is always pretty good at setting it, should auto set it for you, but the FO side never really does. So we're going to turn ourselves inbound to the left here towards Wishy, or whatever you want to call it. And we'll slow down, we'll go flap 1. We'll slow to about 190 knots there. Blue Streak gives me bad vibes, you know why? Yeah, well, we won't talk about that, it's a pretty sad thing. Progress page, next page, we're going to wait till we're inside a mile, and we're going to hit the approach button. We're left of track by 1.2. And there is, let's give myself a bit more of a left turn inbound there. Something like that. We're inside a mile, approach. Flap 8, 180. Glide slope alive, look 0, should be look 2, and glide slope arm, look 2 captured. We will set our missed approach course, which is 121. And visual 12 left landing. Don't have to call it the minimums, by the way, guys. The misconception, at least for my company, is when you're visual, you're visual. You can call it visual landing. You don't have to wait till minimums and all that kind of stuff. There's glide slope, about to be captured. I'm going to wait a little bit. We're still kind of, 2,000 feet. Yeah, we'll start configuring. We'll go gear down. Landing checks. Cabin would be dinged and all sorts of stuff. There's no one here to clear us to land, so I'm going to clear myself to land. And glide slope captured. So that method, what we do in real life, is what I just did right there. I don't have too many problems intercepting lokes and stuff. I see a lot of people having problems. I don't really see it too much. Yes, it happens sometimes, but it also sometimes happens in real life. I can't stress that enough. The RJ is not the greatest at intercepting lokes. So anyways. That's visual, should be stable by 500 above. We'll go flap 20, 160 on the speed. My gosh, we are literally at max landing. Max landing was 75, 100, and we are at 47, 35. We're 20 pounds under that. We'll go flap 30, a speed of 157. Yeah, SimBrief always builds these flights like stacked to the max. I've never seen that in real life. Been maybe a 70, like 3 and a bit, but I've never seen 74. Very rare. Flap 45, a ref of 141. No added gust factor, so we don't have to add that +5 or anything.
Minneapolis traffic, Blue Streak 5340, 5358 on the localizer now. ILS 12 left. 9 mile final. Yeah.
Minneapolis traffic, Blue Streak 5575, 3 mile final, 12 left. There's some rocky bumps. I've noticed in the sim the CRJ autopilot's a little interesting on ILS. I will say the real one does that better. I'm going to kick it off. Autopilot disengaged. This airplane is capable of being autopilot flown to ILS to 80 feet, so it's pretty precise in real world. Not so much in this one. Ooh, let me start my recording. There we go. You got the pappies in sight as well. Landing technique for this guy, 50 feet, eyes down the runway, 40 feet, do nothing, 30 feet, start working the power back, 20 feet, start to flare, 10 feet, idle thrust, rudder, and flare. And that usually works out quite well. It won't guarantee you grease, but it'll guarantee a pretty nice, safe approach and landing. Call visual landing away back. Gears down, flap 45 set, landing check is complete. Going based off the visual cues now. Although those pappies seem quite wrong, so I'm going to go a little under them. Well, I'm in beta mode.
10,
Right rudder, left aileron, reverse, brakes. Yeah, so when I pulled that, when I did that pull, that was a beta pull. In the beta model, you gotta pull a little bit more on the yoke, but not so much in this one. And the brakes will work better in the beta one as well. We'll make the next one here. This is Papa 3.
Minneapolis traffic, Blue Streak 53, 58, 5 mile final, ILS 12 left, Minneapolis.
Minneapolis traffic, Blue Streak 5575 is clear all runways. Alright, let's go ahead and quickly, I'm going to stop right here because I want to get Gabe's landing in here as well. Let's go ahead and see if I can do this quick enough. This one. Nearest runway. He should be coming in any time here. Three zero right means 12 left. I can't see him just yet. There we are over there. So he will be coming in shortly. Pressure's on, Gabe. You're on stream.
I'm literally watching.
Be cool if Chase plane had the nearest plane option. I don't think it would be, but yeah, those Pappies seem way off to me. There he is. So what we're looking for, if you go down the center, notice he's crabbed, which is fine. And then at 10 feet, you're just, or 10 to 15, you're going to add that rudder and aileron to combat that crab. That's the objective anyway, as best you can. Thanks, JL. Appreciate that. Gordo, thanks. And awesome. Thanks as well, Shaq. Thanks for joining for the rest of the stream here. We're going to get you some replays. Should probably stop recording. There we go. So at 10 feet, he's going to have to add a lot of rudder and right rudder and left aileron in there. Here comes the flare. A little hard. Notice that when the gear touches, the entire airplane weather vanes back to the center line, straight to the center line there. And that's what we try to avoid, that side load landing. That was pretty good. The RJ is a slammer in real life. It's really easy to slam the RJ. That's what it's built to do, really. It's not the aerodynamics and the gear are built in a way where it just hits hard.
Yeah, I'm used to the 7.3 where the crabbing goes after you touch down.
Yeah, it's all good, my friend. All right, let's do this after landing. So, you know what? I'm going to leave it in a landing configuration because I'm going to go right to the replay. So I'm going to disconnect from VATSIM, and we're going to play this replay for you guys.
minimums.
Yeah, there was my beta. There was my beta. My beta pull there. And you can see how wiggle waggly the rudder gets, and it gets wiggle waggly when the nose touches down. See that there? We have addressed that in the next build. That'll be fixed. So in the next build, below 45 knots, your nose steering is very active. Above 45 knots on these landings where you really don't want nose steering, it will not be as active. We do leave the steering switch on in real life the entire flight. However, the tiller is what affects the nose steering, not the rudder, and that's different in the flight sim. So that's kind of the way we combated that. So these crosswind landings will get super easy in your in the beta build. Well, when the beta becomes current, and that rudder is a lot less touchy in the beta build as well. And all default sensitivities. Right now, I'm working with. I'll show you what I'm working with right now if you want. This is my CRJ yoke settings. You can see how heavily dampened everything is, and the rudder is dampened as well. So there's a lot of weird dead zoning and all that's going on in the default or in the beta build, which will eventually become public build. It will all be default settings. It'll be gorgeous. You'll love it. I'm telling you. All this stuff gets so much easier when you have the right controllability on it. Right rudder, right left aileron, kind of holding it straight. You can see my left aileron's up a bit, my right aileron's down a bit. That's to counteract that left crosswind. So that wind is picking this wing up, so I gotta hold it down with left aileron, and that's what we're doing. If I didn't do that, we'd be getting thrown off to the right, even as much rudder as you want to add.
Light slope.
Wrong button,
20.
wrong button, wrong button. Oh, I forgot I'm controlling my power in my replays here. I'll try to replay as best I can. Forest sounds are amazing. Love that sound. I love that sound that Boris did. That nose gear grip in the runway is awesome.
Don't.
By the way, guys, if you're concerned with feet per minutes and all that stuff, I'm getting an average on G's of all these replays, 217, 225 at a 0.97 G, if you guys are interested. Those are the numbers coming up to me. Yeah, thanks, Typical. Awesome, appreciate that, my friend. There's that squirrely tail. I'm telling you guys, we got rid of that garbage. We got rid of that squirrely tail stuff. Oh, it's going to be so much better. I wish I can stream that one now. Unfortunately, I am not able to do that. I wonder what nearest tower gives. That's kind of cool. There's Chase Plane at its best there. I just pressed the nearest tower and it gave me it. Fixed on the airplane. Well, guys, we're going to start wrapping up the stream here, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll play my my ending music for you guys. That way you can listen to it. So, I guess I don't know what else you'd do with that. And we will finish up there. So, really appreciate you guys joining. We hit 5K. Next stream will be a giveaway stream. So, be ready for that. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are learning a lot, and be ready for more CRJ content, hardware and software. See ya.